What is up, everybody, and welcome back to a wildly special edition of the DansGolfWorld show. We are freshly back from the Masters. We got big announcements this week. We're going to be talking about Rory McIlroy completing the Grand Slam. Of course, what else is there to possibly talk about? I can't imagine anything else. I've got some stories that I cannot wait to share from my experience in Augusta. And we've got ourselves a little bit of a Masters tasting menu. We're going to be sharing that and a whole bunch more right here on Gary,
the DansGolfWorld show.
My man. Gentlemen, how on earth are we all?
Doing
I'm
good.
So excited.
I'm going to go right into it before. I mean, we have so much to cover, but this is beyond an exciting show for us all. A massive announcement. Can I get a drum roll, please, here, everybody? All right, the DansGolfWorld show is now officially a part of the Sports Illustrated Network.
Woo! Let's go! Woo!
This is the official golf show of Sports Illustrated.
Let's go.
And I will tell you what, my mom has got to be incredibly proud of us. You know, what a big day, though, guys. I mean, you know, we've been plugging away at this thing, and it's fun to really see the show moving along and finding a new home for it. And I hopefully we don't disappoint them extremely like I also did with my mom. Either way, no,
it took us a year.
What's that?
It took us a year.
It took us a year. Man, I mean, Josh and I starting in like two little chairs over in the corner of this room. Then we evolved into like a table with like a TV, and then the show grew. Gary started as a guest. Rich was calling in periodically, and now we are all that is the DansGolfWorld show together. Guys, I'm happy for all of us. I'm proud of all of us, the work we've all put in, and I feel like today's a big day and very exciting.
Dude, Dan used to splice videos so it'd be quicker, and then he started making his own content. Now he's got Bryson calling him troublemaker and making every single player laugh. Like, it's just awesome.
It's wild.
It's well deserved.
Well, thank you, Gary. It's I don't know that I could have imagined it all, you know, coming together the way it is. We have, I mean, sky's the limit, but man, even just this point is a very fun sort of milestone for us all.
I mean, you went from like 0 tournaments ever
to,
what is that, like 45?
It's a mountain.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even have my latest Masters lanyard up here yet.
You gotta put that up there.
Keep growing the pile.
Speaking of the Masters, you
All
just
right.
got back.
God.
We've got to talk about that.
What, first of all, what a tournament. Like, holy cow.
No lead was safe ever.
I mean, I just every bit of it. I feel like this year was additionally special all the way around. You know, even for me, my first time down there, I kind of was like, I don't really know where I'm supposed to be. I don't want to get kicked out. Like how, you know, just walk slow, you know, no running. To this year, I really felt like I had a lay of the land. Like I'm like, okay, this is kind of how it works. This is where I can go. This is where the players are. This is how I get in the right spot at the right time. And it, to me, felt like just a massive sort of advantage going into this year, just with a little bit of experience under my belt. I mean,
it saved you a ton of time.
A ton of time.
Super more tactical.
Way more tactical.
You know?
And I love, speaking of getting the right place at the right time, as Rory's walking back in, you're definitely clearly in the shots.
I've never seen Dan smile so smiling.
Oh, my goodness.
Here, I'm going to talk about that. I mean, and we're going to bounce around. It's okay if we go all the way to when the tournament's already over first. That's fine. But so I did. So here's the thought I had. There's this very interesting thing, like when you're out there in the atmosphere, in the environment, you know, those guys, they set up their chairs to C18, you know, that morning. Yeah. As soon as the gates open, they ran in, power walked in, you know, set their chairs up. Those spots are taken. And then it just fills in for the rest of the day. So even with my media pass, I can go in different places, but I was in no place where I could actually see Rory sink the putt. It just wasn't possible. But where I was in this sort of like corralled off media area where the players are going to be heading. And then that's where they do the flash interviews. You know, we saw like Bryson talking about Rory, and he didn't talk all day. That was right there in that exact same area.
You know where you're never going to see Rory make a putt is on 18.
Oh my God.
It's terrible.
You're saying I didn't miss much. No, I didn't.
No, you'll see it in the playoff, but he won't
He missed
shut
much.
it down on 18.
So here was the thought I had. I'm like, either A, I go back to the media center where there's huge screens and I can actually see the conclusion of the tournament, what we've all been waiting for. Like, how is this thing going to go down?
Right.
Or B, I visually miss it, but I get to be here, like in the atmosphere, the yelling, the cheering, like just everything. Like, here was the thought I had. I was like, I can always go back and rewatch the video. I can never go back and feel this energy of this moment.
Yeah.
And if depending how this goes, it could be quite literally historical. I mean, obviously, every time somebody wins the Masters, it's historical. They go down in history. They got the green jacket forever, you know, whatever. They're making their champions of their menu. But if this goes one of two ways, this will quite literally be a historical moment that we might not see again, potentially even within my lifetime. Somebody getting a career Grand Slam.
And especially Rory, because like, think about it, when he was up by 4 going into Sunday, and I remember what he said after the round. He's like, I should have played more cocky.
Yeah.
And like, when he in the sand though, from 125 yards away, it's like, dude, just hit the middle of the green. And then I'm like, please get this close. And then, you know, obviously, I'd have bet my soul he was going to miss that putt though.
Here's the wild part.
Was he up by 4 going into Sunday, or was he only up by 2?
No, we're talking about like in like what 2000, like 13
gotcha.
or something.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And he was a young kid with the weird hair, and it was great.
24. It was 2014 when he lost it in a playoff,
Dude,
right?
I felt so bad for him.
So here was the interesting thing, though. At the Masters, there is no Jumbotrons. There's no digital scoring screens. There's no like, oh, look over there and we can see the replay. I mean, like you go to the US Open and there's an area that is literally just a sitting viewing area. Like if you want to take a break from the course, they usually have like cool chairs out. And then there's like 100-foot TGL looking screen you can watch the whole thing on. They don't have that. It is no phones. It is old school analog, like, you know, like old school Wrigley Field scoreboard, you know, with the cards that go up. And so I'm going to get to how I experienced the finish of this tournament. But in the process of that, I learned something very, very cool. Of course, because of all that, there's no music playing. There's nothing. It's just like beautifully quiet. And somehow you don't like hear the road. You don't hear it. I mean, like when I was at the BMW at Olympia, like every once in a while you'd hear like an ambulance siren go by. Like somehow there's none of that, even though there are roads and there's got to be ambulances, but you're not hearing any of that. So as you're out walking the course and you're following players, you'll hear like off through the woods a huge roar.
Dude,
and you're like trying to think. You're like, wait, Justin Rose is that way. Maybe he just birdied, but I have no way of knowing. Nobody does. So there's sort of like this like group mentality where someone's like, hey, all right, guys, I'm going to go walk and check the scoreboard. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And so you're waiting and some guy just disappears off into the abyss and he comes like marching back and he was like, Rose birdied 11 or something like that. And you're like, oh my God, like, or whatever.
And
you
then
know,
they put the number up and everybody just goes insane.
that's the second part. So then you hear roars that aren't near any golfer. It's because they saw a scoreboard change, which is wild. So you'll hear like 18 explode because they saw that Rory birdied or eagled XYZ hole.
Is that where that big scoreboard is? Is it over by 18?
Yeah, that's the big one. But then there's like 4 around the course. So that same roar will happen 4 different times. But they won't change the scoreboard like in the middle of someone's putt.
Right.
So sometimes it's delayed.
That's pretty good.
So you hear the roar way that way because of Rory's eagle.
Yeah.
And then you hear the roar that way because they changed the scoreboard over by Amen Corner. And then you hear the roar because there's a scoreboard at the bottom of 10. And then you hear the roar because the scoreboard's up by, 18.
It's like being in Jurassic Park and you hear a T-Rex, you're like, oh.
Oh no.
But in the Masters, you're like, let's go.
So it was cool in the TV broadcast. They actually showed a lot of scoreboard reactions.
Dude, it's so fun. And so the whole time you're trying to piece it together, like what just happened? You're like, no, that was a scoreboard roar because you can count and then you kind of know. And it is so interesting and fun. But again, we're jumping all the way to the end of the tournament, but this was such an interesting part. So here I am.
Do people have like radios or earbuds in?
Nothing. There is not an electronic device anywhere. Anywhere.
Even pacemakers are, you can't.
You turn that off.
Turn it off.
It's like TSA, you know what I mean? So here I am. I am over in the media area, just off the clubhouse, just off the scoring room. I'm in this little kind of chain fenced in area, media pass only, where the flash interviews are. And CBS and some of the broadcast teams have like iPads over by the camera so they can like, because they're part of the broadcast team. So a few of us media members are like huddled around an iPad.
Yeah.
That is like 30 seconds delayed.
Oh.
So you hear the roar.
Okay. So here we are. Like, so we'll take the playoff hole. Most importantly, the playoff hole, we hear like, I think Rose hit first.
Yep.
He hits a great shot onto the green.
Great shot.
Applause. We're like, what was that? Who was that? Well, we know from previously, we knew that Rose was a little farther. So the next roar we hear will be from a Rose shot.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yep.
Big applause. We're like, he must have done well. And then like, we're waiting. He's over the ball. He's waggling. Well, now Rory's already setting up for his shot, but we're like waiting to see the result. And we're like, boom, hits it to 8 or 10 or 11 feet or whatever it was. We're like, okay. And then all of a sudden we hear an explosion.
Super loud.
And we're like, that was Rory's shot. Like that explosion
Nobody
was way
got
more.
roars like roars.
And so now we're waiting. And then we see it. Boom. He's to like 2.5 or 3 feet or whatever. And so all the people around us kind of see us and so we're like telling them, we're like, Rory hit to 2 feet. And like the crowd's like, oh my God, thank you. Because they can't see, we can't see. And then, so now we know like they're finally coming down to their last shot. And here was the craziest part. Like there's just like a subtle, like just a gentle sort of like, people aren't loud. It's not like a stadium, but there's just talking and just people like milling around. And all of a sudden it just starts getting quieter. And even the people who can't even see just realize it's getting quiet. We know someone's about to putt.
Which would have been Rose.
Which now is Rose. And so it's just quiet. It's quiet. And all of a sudden you hear, get in the hole. Come on. Let's go. Oh, and everybody's like, he missed. Oh my God, he missed. And so now we're waiting to see, like, did he crazy miss? Did he miss a little?
The ball rolled over the hole.
Dude. So then we finally see it and we're like, oh my, like it's tapping. So now we know it's like, okay, Rory's got to make this. And so here we all are. And we're just in the milling noise. He's kind of reading his putt. He's doing his thing. And it starts getting quiet again. And then it goes pin drop silent. And you hear, come on, Rory! And they're like, he made it! And like the media's hugging, because like everybody knows like, this is history.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like
super big hit, especially for this guy.
Nobody's rooting against Justin Rose, but there was an additional part of people going, yeah, but how special would it be to be here, to always and forever say, I was here to witness the Grand Slam or witness-ish, give or take.
No matter what, it was going to be history. It was the Grand
100%.
Slam or the oldest Master winner ever.
Yeah,
Wow,
100%.
Beautiful point.
Love it.
And when the crowd exploded, it was just like, oh my God, like we all now knew. We knew the outcome of this tournament from the crowd. Yeah. No clue how it happened, what happened. But now the iPad over by the broadcast team is starting to catch up.
Yeah.
And we now are, so the crowd's going banana sandwich.
Yep.
But we're starting to see Rory like set up over the ball and he's getting ready and he does it and he takes the putt and it goes in and we're all like rewatching it. We're like, oh my God, let's go.
Dude, go ahead.
But at this point in time, Rory is already deep into his celebration. He's on his knees, like that whole thing. And so by the time we see the celebration, he is now starting to make his way through like the aisle of crowd.
Yeah.
And he's on it. And here's what I will tell you. I'm watching this. I'm just emotions, the feeling like here I am, like big stupid me. Like here I am in the middle of all of this moment, like, I was having like this like introspective like thoughts of like, to even think about me and like making stupid little golf videos. Now, here I am in the middle of this. And I was just like thinking about like my journey and everything I've worked on to get here and thinking about this moment and thinking about Rory and even like, I was like, like where your life kind of flashes before your eyes. I'm thinking about like all the dumb questions I'm asking him in TGL and back in Memphis at the FedEx Cup. And like all these times where I was like, oh my goodness, I asked Rory my first question today. And like, and and even thinking through like my frustrations with him during like the whole live golf thing and like the side he took. And it was just like, man, like I've been on this journey with the guy. No, he doesn't know me and whatever, but like, I don't know. I've been following him and traveling and flying around the country. I was there for Hatgate when, he got in that pushing, shoving match and all that stuff, and Lowry's holding him back. And I'm like, I was there for that. I was there, at the Ryder Cup when the champagne was spraying and he's drenched and he's just talking about like how important this is and what it meant for him in Europe, in Italy, like the home turf. And it was just like all of these things. And it was like all coming together in this moment. And I watch on the iPad, the putt falls and he hits his knees. And this was the part that like, man, it wrenched my gut when he went down and he was in like the fetal position on the ground. And then he screamed into the grass.
Yeah.
He just like, and I promise you, it was like in an instant, I was just like, and I just felt it. Like it was just like
right now. Like
the magnitude of the situation hit me at that moment. But here was the crazy part because of the delay. By the time I see him scream into that ground and I have this reaction of just like emotions, I look up and here he comes.
Wow.
And you saw him. He was hardly composing himself. He's like,
yeah.
And I look, so I see that scream, that moment, and I look over, and there he is walking through. And I was just like, it hit me, dude. Like, it hit me. Just everything, all of it, the moment, the Masters, just like this whole thing. And I was just like, so overtaken with emotion. I wasn't bawling, but I was definitely like misty. It was like a little dripper, whatever. And I was just like, man, I'm like, he did it. Rory did it, man. Like, good for him. Like, early in the week, I was rooting for Bryson because we've done some cool stuff. And I was thinking in my mind, like, man, if I get to film with Bryson again, and now he's won another major, kind of having like all these thoughts of like how this could work out for me. Like, it's somehow about me. Like, somehow, like, this whole thing is me. And in that moment, like, I was just so deeply, genuinely happy for Rory in that moment. And he comes around and he hugs Shane Lowry, and I'm like 10 feet away from that, where Lowry picks him up, and his feet are dangling off the ground, and
smells is all sweaty.
Oh my God! I was like, give me some of the sweat. He's like, hugging Justin Rose's wife. She gave him a beautiful hug and this whole thing, and then he came over right to where I was standing to give like the two guys standing right in front of me, like we're kind of pushed in, so like my chest was like to the back of the guy who was being hugged by Rory.
Yeah. Do you know who that was?
I don't.
Probably like an Asian or something.
But right, it was definitely clearly somebody he knew. All right, Josh, go ahead, roll the clip.
There he is.
There he is.
I mean, and so like, I don't know, like just how close I was in this moment. Like this whole thing led to me standing. I mean, I'm 3 feet from his head. I could have gave the guy a kiss on the forehead. You know what I mean? He probably wanted me to. I just knew because on camera, people wouldn't have understood.
His moment's less because you didn't give him a kiss.
Dude, and here was the greatest thing he said. So he steps away from this, what we just watched. He steps back, and you could kind of tell there was this moment of like, where do I go? What do I do now? He was just like, and he looks up and goes, I'm going to go get a green jacket.
That's what he said?
Yes.
I
was just like,
that's awesome.
Gold jacket, green jacket, we do give a shit.
That is great.
What a line. I was like, what an absolute line to just kind of like step away from to exit this moment.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
This whole thing led to this, and it was just like, because nobody wanted to be like, okay, Rory, come on now.
Right.
Like, take all the time you want. Like, just no one's rushing anybody. We're on Augusta time now. Like, no, And so for him to sort of like create that segue, that transition of, I'm going to go get a green jacket now. And it was just like
struggled for forever.
Bro, like what a great line. What a great moment.
If I could piggyback, there's two things I want to piggyback of the things you said. The second thing is going to be like something I think you're going to deep dive hard. So I'll say the first thing first. I was at Cog Hill watching it. I had my phone. I've been watching it on my phone like this for like an hour, playing golf with this kid. And then he's on 18. I'm like, you just hit. This kid hasn't said anything about the Masters the entire time. And as soon as Rory has that like 5-footer to win on 18.
The first one pre-playoff hole.
So I'm like this. And the TV over at Cog Hill is playing the delay. And he goes, oh, he missed it. I go, and I haven't seen it. I go, will you shut up? I'm like, I was just like, I never felt anger, but I also in my soul was like, if there was any guy I didn't want to have to take this putt for a major, it would be Rory. And of course he missed, but I'm glad he won. But the second thing is because of the no cell phone thing, how much more deep, like socially talking, being in the moment, and then
even the photos, the finished photos, where everybody's just like eyes locked, engaged, arms up, not the whole like whatever, like we're all like it's like I think that makes the pictures beautiful.
And dude, when Bryson's going through high-fiving, did you see every kid's face? And they all turned to their parents. They all turned to their siblings. They were like,
I got the high five. I got the high five.
At least they didn't get hit in the nuts by a club like Jordan Spieth.
Dude, how legendary is that?
Bryson get hit in the eye with the rope
hilarious.
again. I didn't even see that. I don't even know what you're talking about.
He was walking
to the first tee. It was the start of the round. He's walking through the sort of aisle of the crowd.
Jordan Spieth.
Okay. Walking through the aisle of the crowd from the clubhouse to the first tee, and he's got his putter in one hand. He's like kind of like, high-fiving here, high-fiving there. And there was this dude who was out for a high five, and he just goes bop and doinked him. We high fived him and just bopped him right in the. Like, just gave him a total nut tap.
Hopefully,
he knows the guy like for sure,
yeah.
like it's one of his buddies.
And the dude's
righty lefty or both, that would suck either way,
dude. Oh man,
that was such a great moment for Rory. But here's the crazy thing to think about, because first question: how long has Rory had the other 3 victories?
A while.
I think it was because he made the point. He goes, like, his first appearance at the Masters was 2011, and then 2014, I think, was his chance to close up the Grand Slam, if I remember all the dates correct.
So 11 times. 12 times.
Why do I think that he had them all before 2014?
I think he did. I think that was his chance to finish it with the Masters. He could have had the Grand Slam in 14.
In the 14, yeah.
Here we go.
I came prepared.
There we
go. We're on Sports Illustrated now. I gotta prepare.
Everybody,
So 2014 did the Open. That's when it is right there. So he could have in the Masters in 2014.
Yeah.
So
what was it? 11 attempts.
11 attempts. Yeah.
Now, if he wins that back then, we see like a kind of a Tiger's air, because there's no 2-footers he misses. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I've already done it. Now it's time to rock it out again.
He talked about the conversation between he and his caddy when they went to the playoff hole. He missed that 5-footer, missed the win of the Masters.
Well, even before that, if we think about, like, Rory tried to Rory this.
Yeah.
As far as just choking. I mean, you look at the first day, he had the 2 double bogeys at the end, which he was shooting absolutely great that day until he had that. And then
Sunday, the first hole, 2-shot swing.
Well, yeah, which that was terrible in the first hole. He got his composure, had a few birdies. He had 3 birdies in the first 9, 4 birdies, 4th birdie on 10, but then all of a sudden 11 bogey, 13 double bogey, 14 bogey, and he bogeyed 18 to go into the playoffs.
Well, and even in that final putt that he did miss for the win, I mean, here's the thing, like, it was a little downhill. It was touchy. We even saw it start to break and then quit breaking. So like he read the break. It just didn't finish the break.
The grain caught it or something.
But you think about it though, like we're talking percentages, 2 more percent. And the way those things were rolling, 2 more percent of a tap. And that's a 5-footer that he could miss again.
Yes.
So it's like, I have to hit this at a speed where I could make it, but I can't, because that could lose the whole thing.
Oh my God. Could you imagine like a 6-footer coming back?
Right.
Because Rose just wins.
Then Rose just wins outright. So there's I can understand parts of it where it's like, no matter what, I have to leave a makeable putt.
Absolutely.
A guaranteed make.
Because I'd rather go into a playoff than another knee breaker.
Exactly.
And what he said was when he got, from the first 36 holes, he had those 2 bad holes. And he goes, I told myself I had 34 great holes. It's only 2 holes. You're okay.
But what the caddy said after the miss, he goes, we would have given our right arm to be in this position right now.
1,000%.
Going into a playoff at the Masters. Let's rewind to Monday. We just showed up. It's the first practice round. They said, Rory, you have 2 options. Go through this week, best of luck. Hopefully you win the Masters. Or B, you time warp to a playoff hole with Justin Rose. Do you take it?
100%.
Of course. Because I didn't think there's no guarantee I'm in a playoff.
Yeah.
And so, because he talked about that in the press conference afterwards, and he goes,
the caddy did or Rory did?
Rory talked about quoting the caddy for saying that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what an insane way to frame that. Like, insane. For him to think of that, to say it just like that, to perfectly reset Rory's mind to go, you are right.
Because how many times have your friends shot like 76, 75, and they're like, man, I could. but then they're like, if I birdied this, and this, I'm like, yeah, but if you knew on the first hole you're going to shoot 75, wouldn't you be like, yeah? He's like, yeah, dude.
Well,
Take it.
You know what shot really saved him?
Rarely.
Go on.
What was it, on 17 or 16, the slinger?
Oh, it was like 15. That rope hook from behind the tree up to the green.
7-iron?
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. He misses these like 5-footers and 2-footers and stuff, but he puts together like a string of like 15, 16 unreal shots. Like 3 39-yard shot like drives, and then he hits what, a 210-yard 7-iron to the par 5, which goes to what, 7 feet, and he makes birdie. But like whatever he did the day before too, I think it was with a 5 or 6-iron that time.
I mean, this was something else,
and he was
this
walking
whole
at it like
thing.
Tiger sorta.
So it was funny. Mom and I were actually watching part of the Masters together, and when I said to Mom when he birdied hole 10,
Yeah,
I said to Mom, Rory's getting in his head. I said, and hole 10, when he birdied, which should have been an exciting moment for him. He's like, yeah, I just birdied again. He's been playing.
Momentum, here we go.
Momentum's going. First 9 was good. Like, everything's going good. I said to Mom, he's in his head. And I looked and I saw him. He didn't celebrate that birdie on 10. He didn't really smile. He was like, you could tell like the weight of the moment started to hit him because he realized, because now at this point, Bryson he was falling off and he had several stroke lead on everybody. Rose had a fantastic back 9.
Yeah, like all of a sudden Rose comes out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Right, out of nowhere.
Raining bombs on 18.
And all of a sudden, I said to Mom, I was like, you watch that. He's got the weight. And then all of a sudden, bogey, double bogey. Like it was.
Dude, and even on 11, when Bryson goes in the water and then he almost goes in the water and then Bryson goes in the water. Yep. But he even talked about that in the press conference. He goes, you know what? I have always said this. In order to pull off something like this, we're all the best.
Yeah.
You need to have some luck.
Yeah.
And he goes, whatever, 14 years of luck all came together and gave me just enough to get through this.
I think about 16. I mean, he could have made that birdie so easily. I mean, he could have been walking.
There's a lot that he could have made easily.
But then there's a lot he couldn't have done.
Right. There's the lot that could have gone the other way, like going in the water on 11. But he didn't. He hung up on that edge.
Double bogey 13.
Yeah.
I want to know what kind of text he got from Tiger.
Oh.
And I would love to hear the first dinner back when he's hanging out with him or whatever.
Okay. I'm going to tell you exactly my thoughts on this.
Okay.
After all the celebration, before he when was it? It was before he got the green jacket or something, before whatever, but they put him on a golf cart and he was sitting there on the golf cart and somebody important comes and hands him his phone.
Nice.
There's no phones anywhere. Somebody important just hands him his phone. And so he's sitting on the back of the golf cart and he's just like wiping everything, doing everything. And you just see like he opens it up and you see like he's just like,
could you imagine?
Right? You know what I mean? And also like he stops, picks one.
And answers back.
No clue. No clue who.
Yeah.
No clue what.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, to have a screen share. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he could be mirroring the iPhone.
There's like an office with a red phone that only Tiger could call. You, hey, give Rory his cell phone. I got to tell him something.
You know what else I thought was interesting? Bryson coming off, and he's caught a lot of flack over this. But he was asked about, did you and Rory talk out there? And he's like, no, we didn't talk at all. And they're like, well, how come? He goes, I don't know. He just wouldn't talk to me. And people are like, oh, you're going to throw shade here in the end because you didn't win this. And I was like, first of all,
he's just answering a question.
He was asked the question.
Logically.
Right. He didn't go, hey, everybody, Rory didn't talk to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you're going to bring it up or not, but I'll bring it up. Second of all, I found this even more interesting. When I was taking my morning ritual this morning, also known as Scroll the Internet Time, I read an article from Rory's mental coach, his like, whatever they call it. Sports psychologist. Thank you so much, Gary.
You're welcome.
He said that it had nothing to do with Bryson. That was always in our plan.
Yeah.
He said that when you get out there and in the final round, because you're going to win this, when you get out there in the final round, it is the utmost important that you are playing your round of golf. You're not at the Masters. You don't have one of the greatest potentially players in the world, obviously playing next to you. There's none of that. It is Rory playing a round of golf, and that is your only job.
So in traditional fashion, I will relate this to Tiger. Tony Finau was playing with him in a major or something, and he goes, I walked up to Tiger, and I was like, hey, how's the kids, blah, blah, blah. He goes, they're good. And he started to walk way faster, and I knew right then and there, I'm not talking to Tiger for this problem, which is fine, but he has the blinders, and that's what you got to do.
And I thought it was.
See, that's why I'm sorry. That's why I'm such a fan of Bryson. Because he's the exact opposite.
Which I love.
Like, he's sitting there playing
That's
good.
the first
He's running
time.
over, giving people high
That's
fives.
the first time I've seen a player do that.
hey,
That I've been like,
trouble.
why
I
have you
love it.
I loved it too.
Yeah.
How many, dude, you're 100% right. But that's why Tiger has 15 majors, though. Maybe. I'm kidding. You're right, though.
Not talking to people is not why Tiger has 15 majors.
I'm a
Yeah,
bias.
we won't talk about the abuse from his dad and all that. We're not going to get into it. No, not going to get into it. Man, I don't know. There was so much. Here's what I feel like. We've got so much more master stuff to go that we're going to come back and we're going to keep asking questions. We're going to keep talking about it.
Yes.
But before we go too much farther, I want to welcome a new addition to the studio. This is, of course, so much more than the most recent Masters Gnome. This is now the latest member of the show. This is Gizmo's new arch nemesis.
It's Clarence, right?
And it is Clarence. Welcome
Let
to the
me
show.
introduce myself. I am Clarence. I would say I'm one of those starving artists just trying to make it big. Golf is always second nature to me, but my true passion is my art.
What?
I loved sitting around the magnolias in my chair and paint the hollowed grounds of Augusta National. But over the years, I've been wanting to explore. Then I saw Dan. He asked me if I wanted to come with him, and I said absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I'm living my best life here with you guys. It's an absolute pleasure.
Great. Why the f*** is there another gnome here? This is a one gnome show. Clarence? Yeah, I remember you from Augusta. I stayed away from that loser. All he wanted to do is play in the sand and look at flowers. He could give two shits about golf. There is no place for him here. Dan, see his ass out the door.
Gizmo.
My
Mm.
God.
Oh yeah,
Arguing?
you're the guy that left the village a year ago. I see that you're still drunk. Dan, this guy is bad news.
Nice.
I would like to thank you for making Augusta National great again by taking this buffoon home with you. It's so sad, seeing the help still needing
Dan,
help.
hold me back.
My God.
I'm beating this dude's ass. I told you not to bring anyone else here. Even so, you brought the guy that does no wrong. The complete opposite to me. Why couldn't you nominap someone at least a little like me, you clown? Oh, and stop blinding me with that damn forehead.
Dan, I think your forehead is cute.
Oh,
Don't listen to him.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, he's right.
man.
He's got the chair, not the club. So you know.
You know what it's like? It's like when you introduce a new dog into an environment and one has to like become like the pack leader. You know, what's that show? The guy like the dog whisperer or whatever that dude. Like I feel like that's what we have going on now. Like there's going to be like we have a battle for like establishing dominance here now. This could get ugly.
So like Dan was like focused 100% all week, and like we
Dialed.
and we had our group text, but like I think we only texted each other singularly only a few times, but instantly I knew when you saw Bryson whacking balls after the third round, and then all of a sudden I look back, it's nighttime. He's still rocking. I'm like, there's no way possible that like I just was like, he's one of us.
He's one of us.
And how about Saturday night? He's just out taking a walk, you know, letting the nerves go, and finds somebody's backyard who's got a putting hole there, and he starts putting
With the
just random
kids.
people.
Dude, how cool
Like,
is that guy?
Did you hear the story? So the guy he goes inside to get his wife. He's like, "Hey, honey, come outside. Bryson's out here." And she's like, "Yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah." She's like,
yeah,
"No,
hold on. I'm
he's
talking
really
to Tiger.
here."
I can't come out yet. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I found it. So like Tuesday, he hit 393 balls, 156 Wednesday. Thursday was 210. Friday was 115, and Saturday was whatever. So that's a grand total at 938. But on Saturday, I feel like, I mean, he hit for like 4 or 5 hours and probably just took all the pizzazz out. And like he could have done way better if he just kind of chilled, I feel.
Dude,
I heard
look at Gary coming out with like the research stats
Oh, yeah.
from this week.
That's
I love
right,
it.
baby. We got up the
It's a
game.
new week. It's a new show. We're on a new network. I think, Gary's wearing the shirt that I brought. You put it on like 37 seconds before the show started.
He's just got no shirt on all of a sudden, put his new shirt on.
That was another highlight. Thank you.
So nice. Thank you.
Oh my God. Like there's so much to get into. Like I can't even, this is going to be an 11-hour show.
Did you
Speaking
hear
of
about,
the, go ahead.
Did you hear real quick? Did you hear about what Rory's ex said on Thursday after the round?
Rory's ex?
I wish
Yeah, the tennis
her
player
ex?
that he was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
she posted on something. She posted probably on Twitter.
I thought you were talking about the CBS reporter that he was like allegedly, like
No.
Yeah.
She quoted on ESPN. She gave a quote for ESPN. It's always fun to see when the best in the world are struggling, and that's what you get with no context. So everyone was speculating it was Rory's bad first round. So everyone was giving her
thickens.
hate. Yeah.
I see.
There's some bitterness there, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, if you're not getting hate on, you're not doing what you're doing right.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I think what we need to do is first go through and recap our picks from last week. It was so wild. It's all such a blur. I don't even remember how that all went. But I want to make it a little bit fun. So let's first kind of go back into our picks. Who had who? Let's run through.
Scottie.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. All right, Josh, give us a rundown of how this went and who's in last place.
So in fourth place, it's me again.
All right.
I picked Brooks Koepka. He did not make the cut at +5.
That was terrible.
And then it goes.
I mean, he missed it wonderfully, though.
Yeah. Then
What does that
Dan.
Like, horribly.
Dan would have took first if it was for Ludvig's final hole, placing 7th with a -6 score. And then it was Gary with Bryson.
What's crazy, to touch on Ludvig before we go.
It was his second Masters, third Masters.
But because he bogeyed 17 and double bogeyed 18, he lost $700,000 in prize winnings.
Which
$700,000.
Here's what's wild. Other than Josh, who was way off,
It's a good pick, though.
the three of us,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
all were
Dialed.
like all complete contenders
Yes,
for.
sure.
But we love Josh.
All right, so here's what I want to do. I
didn't finish it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So in second with T5 finish, Bryson DeChambeau, that's Gary. And then Rich for the second week in a row.
Now he's
Nice job, Klepto.
first place, not the outright winner,
Not the outright
but first
winner.
place.
For our picks,
Of
for our
course,
picks.
of course,
With
of course.
Scottie
Which is-
Scheffler.
it's an extra sort of
Yeah.
badge of honor when you also get the outright.
I don't know what. I'm just good at picking the golfers. Better than you three, at least. You know?
And he didn't even look at the leaderboard because he couldn't because of his
Min-woo
wins there.
last week.
Yeah,
then,
and you know what? You're right. That was, and I love that Gary's got a Mickey Mouse hat on his little cutout. But yeah,
boy.
yeah, I would say that was one of my favorite parts. Is there was zero advantages to be had. We were all making ice cold picks.
Ice cold picks.
And my pick wasn't even. If you have Koepka in the field, someone's going to pick him.
Yeah. Well, and the worst thing, Koepka did the same thing. He like doubled, or no, I think he like had a quad on 18 that took him out of the cut, which is terribly
You know
unfortunate.
who I really wanted to make the cut was Freddie.
Yeah, with his
don't
hybrid irons.
I don't
You
think
have
that's
hit?
ever happening again.
That's false.
He was one putt. It was literally one putt.
Oh, he was one on?
Yeah,
Did
him
you
and
see-
Bernhard Langer were both
Your
one-
buddy?
my buddy.
God, I hope one day he just like messes
know.
with you.
All right,
But you know, Koepka, he eagled 15.
did he?
He
Good-
eagled
well, good for
15,
him.
bogeyed 17, double bogeyed 18.
And hole in one on the par 3 challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty fun. Though.
Yeah.
You know, the person that's won the par 3 challenge has never even come close to winning the Masters.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a
Every
curse.
year, yeah.
There's two big curses in professional golf. One, winning the
Dan
par 3
picks you,
challenge at Augusta. And Gary, thank you for interrupting and already saying it. 2, being chosen on the show. Man, that joke was ruined so quick. All
No,
right.
we officially have broken that challenge.
I know it's true.
I picked Min-woo Lee.
It's-
We got right here,
like Min-woo Lee.
top right here, you know. Like,
You know what? But I'm sticking with the shtick.
Welcome back.
I feel like if anyone jinxes anyone, that would be Josh. Of course. This is what the second or third week in a row where your pick hasn't even made the cut. If I had a nickel for every bad pick out of him, I would be able to buy a plane ticket to Augusta to leave this gnome napping fool. You guys never ask for my picks. I had Rory
true.
winning the Masters all day.
no, you
And
don't.
before that, I had Brian Harmon winning the Valero. I got the picks. You all suck.
Wow. I actually said something outrageous. I said Roy will never win the Masters, and then my foot was in my
that was
mouth
a
with it.
really hard
No, that's
take.
how he won.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
think that
cursed him.
The
also-
anti-curse.
Yeah.
You're
Gary
welcome,
fired
Roy.
him up.
All right, here's what I want to do, guys. As you can see, I brought back a ton of Masters gear here.
Oh my God,
I
yes,
love
you
it.
did.
And I wanted to get everybody a hat. And so here's what I thought, that we would go in order. First place gets first pick, second, third. So
Love it.
Rich, you being the reigning champion of the week, I wanted you to go through this pile of hats and feel free to pick one.
Oh my
The hat of your
goodness, there's
choice.
Pick
so
your
many
one, and
good
Dan will pick his
ones in
20.
here.
Full disclosure here, these guys did get a chance to take a little
We
pre-peek.
did. Let's
Just
see here.
so this didn't drag on for
I'm
5
tough
hours.
because I don't know if I want to do this one or. Yeah, I'm rocking this one.
I love it. That's a beautiful hat.
This is the one I'm wearing.
patch hat?
Thank you very much, Dan. This is absolutely awesome. We
You're very
appreciate that.
welcome. Gary, go ahead. Number 2 position. He's, of course, just like the shirt, puts it on instantly. Yeah. Instantly. Nice. All right, Josh.
Giving Clarence an extra little
In
hat for today.
way last place.
Way less.
Not even close.
I gotta take the tag off though.
Which one's he going to go
Skip
with?
it.
Oh,
The
wait,
skip
hold on,
it.
wait a second. I forgot I was third, so it's my pick. I'm going skip it.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. All right. I'm in the giving spirit. You know what?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I saw something that I just had to buy. And only because Rich.
But before you get into that, did you pick a hat? What hat? Well, I guess technically you picked all
Well,
of
they're
these
not
hats.
up here because I took 7 out of this pile.
He's gonna forget.
7.
Oh yeah. I'm buying that hat. You
7 out of this pile already.
Jesus.
They're like, you guys can pick from the non-7 that I want.
Well, here's like every hat I bought is a hat like I want and I like, but I'm like, but I'm gonna pick a few that like I just want to guarantee stay mine.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: like of this pile, I've still got like a father-in-law hat, a brother-in-law hat. So this pile is still dwindling. So I
Nice.
had to,
You had to
whatever.
pull 7. All right.
All right, Rich,
Yes.
you've always got yourself a big giant cup.
Oh,
Gary, would you bring it over to him?
Yes.
Would you please?
Wow.
Come on.
Oh, that is awesome.
that is
And you know
sick.
what? You're talking about needing some more stuff on your desk
my
over there.
Goodness, I love it.
You can
Dude,
leave that here.
right.
Oh no, this is going with me
No,
everywhere.
He's gonna get a holster for it.
Stolen valor.
He just like he's looking for the
Oh, my
TGL hoodie.
goodness.
He's like, "Where is it?"
Yes.
Oh, I got your cup. Sorry.
And then, Josh, I wanted to get you something really special.
This is fun.
And it's the Masters underwear.
Oh,
no way.
For your honeymoon.
Underwear?
Josh is getting married this year. I figured for his honeymoon.
Nice.
At least now when the pants come off, his wife will be impressed.
Just
All
don't
right,
miss
here
the
we
hole
go.
like Rory on 18.
Yeah.
I'm already using this.
Is that a
cup.
bad joke? All
No,
right.
it's hilarious.
Thank you.
All right. And then I figured, one more thing for all of us here. And we'll go in reverse order. Since we went first to last on the hat pick. We'll go last to first on picking your color ball marker.
Oh.
So Josh, you get first pick on the color here.
Hands.
Hands.
Nice.
This guy's dialed.
Oh, I'm going to go actually talk about weddings.
Yeah.
Going my wedding color.
Beautiful.
Blue.
There's a black
Baby
master
blue,
one?
nice.
If I could
Nice.
get it out. Jeez. How do you get this thing out?
I don't know.
Well, here, let Rich pick, and then I'll pick,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure it out later.
Let's see. I'm going Masters green. Yep.
You able to get that thing out?
Just
I was
Just
not
like
able
your
to get
pick
that
with
out.
Scottie.
Masters green right there. Well, technically it would be
I
your
just like
pick
giving you
next.
crap.
Do you want the green or the blue one?
It's my
well,
pick?
or the red. There's green, blue, or
Oh,
red.
sure.
Yeah, it's your pick
I'm
next.
getting up.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
you go.
Gary, while you're up, would you hand these to Rich?
Oh my God. Is that all your receipts?
Yeah, hand those
Oh
to
my
Rich.
God.
I am not the accountant of the show, but I'm gonna have fun adding these up right now.
No way. You trying? Is there something on the back?
Dan, are you want
All
me
right,
to
hold
total
on.
these
Keep
on the
them
show?
I don't know, but you could, I don't know, just whatever you
set.
want to do. If you want to just talk about some highlights or a couple totals, I have yet to actually do a proper accounting because I'm terrified to.
And you want this announced on the show for your wife to hear?
I like we've said in the past, I don't think she listens, so we're totally fine. This is a safe space.
Not to mention, because of Sports Illustrated, this is the first time you got to save some money on some things. Right?
They didn't give me a budget for this, but it's fine.
No, not for that, but like the hotel and.
Oh, yeah. I was
So
staying
you
in the
know what?
Sports Illustrated
Rationalize
house.
it that you deserve to spend
It's
more.
casino math.
Yeah.
Like, technically, this is free money.
100%.
Casino math.
Also, as you guys probably know at this point, I was not chosen for the media lottery.
Yeah.
You know, but here's the thing. Another guy in the Sports Illustrated group was a new friend of mine, Brian. He was chosen. But here's what I will say. I was so sure that I was in. I was just feeling it. I even bought the yardage book for the course.
Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah. I was like kind of just reviewing. I'm like, all right, a hole 6. I clearly know what I'm going to do here is hit it into the woods.
Nice.
You know, and so on.
13 into the water.
Would you have put it in your back pocket like a pro?
Oh, yeah.
Can I
Oh,
see
for
it?
sure.
Can I hold it?
Yeah, feel free.
Nice.
You broke 2,000 just on 2 receipts.
Thank you.
Oh, dude. I guarantee Dan's like, it's over 6, under 9.
No. That's a little tall.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we want to guess? I haven't pressed enter
Well,
yet.
he was on day 2 and he was already at 2,400 or
Just
something.
throw a number out there. Throw just a general total.
4,200.
All right.
I'm thinking 6.
All right.
6,000.
Do I give a guess? I
Yes.
have a ballpark.
Ballpark it.
I think like 3,200.
Your wife's going to be a little more upset.
All
You're
right.
3,801.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to just send her the clip
You
of
know
this
why?
link, like, hey, watch the
Okay.
video at this time.
Here's what happens, okay? You know, like at the grocery store when you're like about to check out, there's like all the gum and like the magazines and like
having this extra.
yes.
Except
You know what you
in
start
$5
doing?
is 100.
You start grabbing things like ball markers and sunscreen and a pin and I don't know, a dog collar. Like, what am I doing? I'm out of control. Like, I can't help
Are you
myself. I
going to
can't
put that on your dog?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to put it on like, immediately. I got some playing cards. You know what I mean? Who knows? Yeah, I needed that.
I needed that.
I already have this putter from last year, but for some reason I need another one. But here's the thing though. This is like every time I went. Like, how many trips are there? Is it 4 or 5 or something?
3, 4,
That's
5
a long
trips.
one.
Okay, so 5 trips every time. If you throw like couple two treat things in the bag, you end up with all this crap. Like a giant.
As we have all of these hats sitting here.
I
throwing-
guarantee within 6 months there'll be 10% hats with the tag on that have never been worn.
Thank you. You end up with things like this: a Master's bag tag,
Which is
There you go.
beautiful,
That
right?
is.
That's real still and violent. Put that on your bag.
$18.
though.
Like, I'll throw it in the bag.
Now, here's the question:
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
nothing.
going to use?
No,
that
usually they're like
as-
$75 for really nice ones.
Are you going to use that as a bag tag? Are you going to actually put
Oh,
it
it's
on your
going on the
bag?
bag. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
Like this. No, this I won't use, but I
Oh.
had to get a glove. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine if you
And
got
it's got a
signed
ball
by, hey, get
marker
a
on
signed
it.
by Rory at the next tournament?
You know what? And here's the thing: like,
That maybe should be a tournament only glove.
I don't think I'm going to wear it to golf because it'll
No.
get ruined immediately. I'll go to the range. I'll pound balls. This thing will be destroyed
my
by
God.
Tuesday.
No, that's what I'm saying. A tournament only golf, not a golf,
Yeah.
not a glove to go pound balls or anything like that. But like,
It'll
you know,
be
when
drenched in sweat within
No,
45 seconds.
it's not a removable ball marker. It's like an embedded
Oh,
permanent
really?
thing. Yeah.
That's
Either
beautiful.
way, dude, how great is that, right?
That's
so
fun.
good.
Woohoo.
Leave it on the whole time.
That was so funny.
We'll get into this. I got a brand new 3-wood over here,
There we
and
go.
I need a head cover for that.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Quick guess. How much is this head cover?
$75.
62.
22.
$29.
Wow.
I know.
Are you kidding me? The one at Live was like
Dude,
80
my
bucks. I
I
bought.
know.
PC Scottsdale cost me $85.
Insane, right? Let's
That's
see
insane.
here. And then, of course, I got this, and it is either a commemorative coin or a ball marker. I'm not sure, but it's got a holster.
Is
How
that the
great
go-
is that?
Is that a
Nice.
bronze coin or is it gold?
It's, I think, bronze-ish.
Looks like copper.
It's
Do you got
copperish.
the coolest thing you bought next to you? Your Oakleys?
Yeah,
Those
that's
are
even up here. Oh my god,
sick.
there's so much stuff.
What
Yeah,
are those cost? I would have bought them if I knew I had an Oakley option. I swear to God,
Those
I'd have been
Oakleys
like,
are
pick me up.
what's your
one.
guess?
I would say 3 nights. Well, here's the thing: is
So here,
My guess
Let me
for-
preface this before you guess.
okay.
They were limited edition. They only made 500 for the week. I bought these on Sunday before the week started during the drive, chip, putt, and 100 of them were already gone.
I want to say 450, but because it's the Masters, 225.
We already know. so
Well,
we're not
that's
guessing.
weird that you made them cheaper at the Masters instead of more expensive at the
Well,
Masters.
because everything was cheaper.
Everything else is cheaper, it seems like.
So
no,
I'm going,
exactly.
I'm going
no,
450.
it's weird. Here's the thing. Here's where it's weird. Like, I have a QZ, like a little quarter zip that was 200.
Oh.
I have a vest that was $195,
Which means, yeah.
but then like weird stuff like this thing is only $18.
This is like the gumball stuff where
And
you like just grab it.
But that's what I think. Like there's sort of like method to the madness. Like when you first walk in and out by all the main clothes, you're here to spend. I want a QZ. I know it's $200. That's fine. That's fine. By the time you get up by the checkout,
You're like, that's
where
not
the
that
cheap
bad.
stuff. It's like, yeah, this is only $18. Like that's nothing.
Let's do it.
Like here's the thing: you're not getting $18 gum at the grocery store. That'd be mind blowing. There's not a chance. Kids, get out of here. Go sit in the car. You're in timeout. Money in the Masters. You just bought a $200 QZ. Now, a little $18 bag tag isn't such a big deal. No, so the Oakley sunglasses, these were $325.
All right.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
That's not too
I was
bad.
off
'Cause
by
I've seen
100.
Well, I've seen Oakley's go for like $500-600.
I don't know if you guys can see hiding up here.
God, I want to look at them.
Little
Little
gizmos.
salt shakers.
Salt and pepper.
That is
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Little gizmies. Also, the ornament
Christmas ornament. There you go.
right on the tree. All right.
And, we're talking about the fun things, but just going back to Rory's.
You want
putt-
to talk about not fun things?
No. Going
What's the
back
plan
to
here?
putt that Rory had, from like 5 feet to win on 18.
The one he missed
do
on
you-
18 or
do
the
you
one he
fe-
hit?
The one he missed.
Yeah.
Not the playoff. Do you think he relived all those 2-footers from
Oh,
the-
yeah.
How do you not?
Trivia.
Yeah, let's go.
Go on.
So this is cool. It's a Spectator guide. Yeah, I got this from in the clubhouse.
Nice.
Inside the clubhouse.
Did you buy any clothing with the extra emblem thing that you were talking about?
I did not have access to
Oh.
the Club Pro Shop, but I did have access to the clubhouse.
Which Josh thinks you could go to
Because
if
you
the
were
tournament's
media,
not
you had
around.
access to the
Yes.
clubhouse, not
Now, I
not
can't-
everybody else.
Certain areas I couldn't go up into the crow's nest.
Yeah.
I can't go in the champions locker room.
Obviously.
But I can go upstairs. We dined out there. We had breakfast one morning on the veranda. Beautiful. Oh my God.
awesome.
I know. So I grabbed the Spectator guide from in there. You can get them other places, but I wanted the one from in there.
100%.
Just feels different.
Go on.
A quick little so this is fun. It's got tons of stuff. It's got info on the course. It's got all the historical winners and playoffs and
Playoffs?
the scores they finished, like playoff holes. Like you could see in 1990 Faldo won with a playoff, yada, whatever. We're not going to get into all this. Then it goes hole by hole. And it talks about like the yardage and what makes it interesting and sort of the design of the course. Again, it's just a blast. And then, even like hole by hole drawings and layouts design. But then we get into this part here and it's landmarks and structures. And it is sort of some really cool history. History question for us all.
Let's go.
Go on.
Anyone in here know where the name Amen Corner came from?
T-flip.
Do you know, Gary?
Goes to Josh.
Is that just was there a either a church or a cemetery?
Nope.
I have no clue at all. I'm
Go ahead,
assuming
It
it's
was
just
an
like
educated guess.
Gary?
Gary's sitting there. He already
Amen
knows.
Corner. I was gonna say that.
he doesn't
I
know.
honestly have no idea.
I'll get into it. This is very fitting for
I
today.
would love this.
Okay. Amen Corner. The name Amen Corner refers to holes number 11, 12, and 13. Amen Corner was first coined by Herbert Warren Wind in the April 21, 1958 edition of Sports Illustrated.
Let's go. Sports Illustrated.
Oh,
He
Oh,
wrote
SI
no
reference.
way.
Love it.
He wrote that it was
Wow.
composed of the second half of hole 11, hole 12, and the first half of hole 13. Wind was searching for an appropriate name for the location where the critical action had taken place that year. And it goes on to explain sort of his inspiration from that and the rest. The name was given from him writing about the showdown that week and the crazy moment that took place in this particular part of the course. And he coined it Amen Corner in the
That's
Sports
awesome.
Illustrated article. And it is a part of history. It is what everyone knows it as. It is what it is called now.
That is awesome.
Super cool. Like that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like just everything is so fun. I was just flipping through this book and and it's all alphabetized. So that's the first thing in the fact section is Amen Corner. Next it goes to Arnold Palmer plaque. Then there's a whole section on the bridges, cabins, clubhouse, whatever.
Kind
How
of
cool
makes
is
you
that?
feel like you're right where you need to be reading that, right?
I'm telling
You know what
it-
I mean? That's kind of like that's deep hitting and like so relative.
It felt almost as good as slathering on Master sunscreen.
Did you actually put some on?
No, it's not open. No.
You didn't open one?
And it will never be
No.
opened.
No.
Hey, here, I'm not a sunscreen
No.
guy.
You should have did a
Me
review.
neither.
I'm not a sunscreen guy. I even though I should.
Here's a hot take.
I'm a pasty white
You're as
person.
pasty as Rory is.
I know, and yet I raw dog it all year.
Well, if he gets out his nose, he's got extra, so he's
Yeah,
fine.
Hey, I have a weird question.
Okay,
Why
Gary will say yes, but I probably won't.
why
Wow.
does everyone hate Patrick Reed?
I could tell you a bunch
Because
of
he
reasons.
had a pretty decent Masters.
Can I say 4 right now? One, he moved his the sand behind the ball not once but twice to cheat on national television. Like, how do you even think you're going to get away with that? 2, he wears Sunday red on Sunday, a black outfit with a red Nike shirt. You're a
No one likes him for
You're
that.
a walking circle, not a V. Oh, sorry, Tiger is a walking B, and now we got Patrick Reed with half his shirt. No. You're not allowed to wear that if you can't bench over 225-1.
This
Why
is what everyone thinks.
everyone hating
Oh God.
on my boy, Patrick Reed.
Of course, you would like him.
Me and him go way back. I kind of owe him one. See, I was the reason he got kicked off his college team back in 2009. He invited me out to a party at the University of Georgia. I got him arrested. I somehow snuck out a window of the frat party the cops busted down. Then I taught him how to win unethically. No, not cheating. Just unethical moves that costed him. Do I think he did it? No. But did I help him? Yes.
He's taking credit for that. Who does that? I'm sorry. I'm just
I love that you're
adorning
rocking a new
myself.
pin.
You
You've
know what
got your
also is
Masters
going to be
gear
really
going
fun
on. I'm
is
drinking
to
from my
actually get to eat something
Talking
from
right over
Augusta.
me.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
You actually put your drink in here.
Oh, 100%. I'm already using
The
it.
cup is in play.
Yes.
The cup is
You
immediately
didn't
in
even
play.
wash it out.
I love you, Rich. I'm sorry.
All right. How about this? I have a story.
Go
a
on.
very sort of epic journey that fast forwards us, rewinds back to last year, fast forwards to this year, and culminates to the moment that I shared with Ludvig Åberg the night before the Masters. But here's what we're going to do. Little TV magic. We're going to take a pause because we've got a little setup to do here. We'll come back. We'll dive in the story. For this very special part of the show, I've got a story, a journey I want to take you guys on, but I felt like the least we could do is have a little lunch in the meantime. So we ordered prior to the Masters, the Masters Party Catering Pack, whatever it's called.
Taste of the Masters.
Taste of the Masters. Thank you very much. It's of course what it is. So we have some of the highlights from the official Augusta National, the Masters, meal, menu, whatever. We see all those, the menu boards. I thought Gary was just straight up eating them without all of us. He was just like slamming. So like, what are you doing?
Is this the
gotta
first
do the
year that
smell.
they've ever done this?
No, they've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a little bit. I discovered it last year. That was when I first found out about it. I did a video on it. It was a whole thing. And this year it was like, well, we got to have it. Full disclosure. This, you never know, delivery, whatever.
Wow.
I had hoped that you guys would be eating this last week while I was at the Masters and we'd all be tasting together.
I was super jelly when you were sitting there eating that sandwich, and I knew that this was like coming in like 2 hours. And like we couldn't do it.
Totally ignoring Gizmo.
Right.
Well, but I think it works out even better because now we get to do it together.
Love
It
it.
came a little after. But before I get into the story I want to share over lunch, this is kind of fun. This is a little pamphlet that comes, and there's instructions.
Go on.
So we followed these to the T.
You put it in your mouth.
For the pimento cheese and the egg salad sandwich, start off with the freshest white bread you can find. Place a third cup of our signature pimento cheese or egg salad on a slice of bread. Spread evenly from crust to crust to give it the master's touch. Gently top with another slice of bread and enjoy.
Love it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to do the last
They
one.
directed to make a
Hardcore.
sandwich.
Pretty straightforward. And then we'll the other one. The pork barbecue sandwiches begin with the freshest sandwich buns you can find. Our sandwiches are served on seedless buns. We followed that accordingly.
Yes, we did.
No seeds. Warm the pork barbecue to an internal temperature of 165, which we
did.
precisely did in the microwave. Once heated, serve up a generous half cup portion between the buns and enjoy.
Not just a third cup.
Half cup. You got to go a little heavier on the pork BBQ. And then this is nice. There's a little menu And of course, egg salad, pimento cheese, pork barbecue. And then the snacks, we got the potato chips, the barbecue potato chips, chocolate chip cookies, and the Georgia pecan caramel popcorn.
Oh yeah,
The
this right
lethargicness.
here is going
I
to be
can't
great.
wait to feel it.
Hey, where is my pimento cheese?
Oh, God.
I see that Clarence over there even has an egg salad. You know this is some bullshit. The amount of work and effort, and I can't even get a pimento cheese. That's it. You, Clarence.
Oh, my
I was going
God.
to give you
Wow,
a chance,
hard.
but since
Wow.
I'm left out of things now, you will rue the day.
Well,
You
thank
won't
you.
be expecting it. But you're in the end game now.
Wow.
Okay,
I swear to
wow.
God, if I drop any of this food on this shirt, I'm going to be like,
Yeah, it's a very critical moment for all of us.
it is.
I also love these. They've got like the little place cards for, when you set out your serving buffet. So we've got these little like egg salad. What else we got? The pimento, pork barbecue. Here we go.
Fun fact: I have not
It's kind
had
of fun.
any of this stuff. Like, never had egg salad.
Have you ever had a
barbecue
deviled
pork.
egg?
No.
Oh, have you ever had eggs?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Gary, are you doing Snapchats during the show?
I can't help it.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Got to keep the socials
The
alive.
socials going.
You
while
can
the
use it
socials
for a
are
reel
going.
later.
All
It's
right.
Social inception.
So how about we do this?
Hashtag SI.
Like I said, I've got a story that I'm excited to share with you guys. It starts last year, it takes us to this year, and culminates to a very interesting point in my week at the Masters. But I thought I would tell the story over lunch.
I love that.
So how about we kick things off with the infamous pimento cheese? Is that the place to start, guys? And you
I agree.
can weigh in here. But
Or do we save it for last?
I
think
think it's the first thing people try when they go. I think there's and then
like
we,
if you okay, how about this? If you were at the Masters,
Yes.
which none of you were, sorry, I know, but that you walk into the concession line.
Yeah.
What it's your first time there? You're going to order one thing. What's the first thing you're going to try?
It depends for me because I'm going to have my old plan, of course. Is this the only meal I'm eating there, or am I going? Do I know that I'm going to eat everything?
You're going to be there enough time to try several things.
Pimento, I'm saving last.
Oh, you really?
Really?
sure.
I'm doing
Yes.
pimento first.
I was the opposite. Yeah, it was like the first thing. Once I got there, I was like, I'm here. I got to try it. Like I've been waiting this whole time.
I'm doing what Dan said was the best part was the pimento with the buffalo combo.
Well, we'll see.
barbecue.
Yeah,
That's
but-
something you can't order. All right.
Rich, I'm letting you make the determination here. Where do we start?
We're going to do egg salad. Then we're going to go to the buffalo.
The
then
pork
we're gonna
barbecue-
do the
barbecue pork.
barbecue, and then we're
Yeah.
going to go pimento.
like
Okay.
right this
All right.
moment.
All right. Well,
Grab them in.
let's all take a bite
There we
and let's see what happens here. And then I'll jump into my story.
Nice.
Hold on.
This will probably be the only time you know you won't get interrupted by me.
Oh man. Rich, napkin's so cute right now.
All right. Right.
You know what? Dead serious, guys. That is shockingly like,
What it is.
yeah,
Identical.
yeah, for real. Like we nailed it on the bread and everything.
I feel like my golf handicap's going down as I eat this.
Probably.
Dude, you have the Masters inside of you,
Right?
Right. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Your golf's going up.
going way up. Oh, did you guys have your cups?
Oh, well, instead of using this cup, I am definitely going to be using my Traverse, of course.
Okay. Any first initial reactions?
Question: how much is the egg salad sandwich there?
Is it in the $1.50 category or the $2? I
That's
think it's
crazy.
I think it's in the $1.50 category.
Yeah, not gonna lie. If I was walking up there ordering, I would just order all three of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Who cares?
Right.
Like even if I don't finish them, throw them out and get them every time, get all of them, and then just eat the bites of the ones you want, and you're still cheaper than like a hot dog at a baseball game. It's kind of good, right?
That's not bad.
That's fun.
I've never had one before, so I don't know what to compare.
I like
it
the
to.
texture and the coldness.
It blows my mind that he's never had egg salad or
Right.
a deviled egg or anything of that nature.
Or barbecue pork sandwich.
Blows my mind.
Well, he chooses bowling over golf, so
What? Well,
I'm
I mean,
a scratch bowler, Gary.
I just got to throw some shade.
And I'm an itchy golfer. Sorry.
this is so good.
All right. All right.
You dork. I love it.
I love that Gary's comment was, "I like the temperature. It's cold."
Yeah, it really is nice. It's refreshing.
Mashes my soul.
Let's get into this story because I have egg salad lodged in my microphone
All right,
now.
We gotta wait for this. Okay.
Yeah, well, because the story's a journey and we got time. We're gonna kind of move through the menu as we go. Quick reviews. Everybody enjoyed the egg salad so far?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Put a
Off to a good
solid
start.
8.5.
I didn't know what to
8.5?
expect. I'm a just
Is it
7.5 for me.
Is it something you'd eat again, or
Probably not.
one and done?
That's
Happy
probably
you did it.
Like, I'm hoping you don't eat yours so I could eat it.
We'll see what happens. Rich,
I'm going. As far as egg salads go,
now Masters egg salad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I expected a 6.3.
okay,
Right? Just it's $1.50.
it came in the mail.
Plus, yeah,
It came in
exactly.
the
Egg
mail.
salad
Egg
that came in the
salad that came
mail.
in the
How good
mail.
could it be?
Like it's $1.50. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm expecting that. As far as egg salads go, it's super simple. It's really nice. I'm going 7.9.
I like that. Beautiful score. Beautiful review. Let me take you guys
It's
back
not
on
a
this
rookie
journey.
score.
No.
A year ago at the Masters, one of the things I learned that happens outside of the Masters is all of these houses get rented up. Not just for people who want to like Airbnb because they're doing a buddy's trip and they're all playing golf. No. Companies go in and rent all these houses. They throw parties at these houses. They bring in their VIPs to these houses. They rent additional houses for the VIPs to stay in. And then they have a singular house that they throw the party at that they invite all the VIPs to.
Are these the houses that are on the
They're
Masters ground?
Everywhere
or-
within a half-hour drive of the place. Everywhere. I learned about this last year. As the week goes on last year, I get an invite.
No way.
I get an invite. I go to one of these. I'm like, where are we going? They're like, oh, we're going to the Wasserman party. Give a little chip try.
Oh, yeah.
They're great.
I
It's like
wanna do
a
chip
kettle
try.
cook barbecue.
Yes. Oh, delicious.
Solid, right?
A very thick chip too. He's doing
sturdy.
exactly what we talked about, not
I know.
crinkling in the bag.
I 100%
appreciate
did.
that.
I'm so
All right,
sorry.
all right.
I love you.
I get invited to one of these parties last year. It was the Wasserman party. They're a huge agency. They, they represent some of the biggest brands in the world, far beyond golf, artists, celebrities, all kinds of stuff. I end up at this party. I'm like, holy cow, it's at a house. Like, yeah, well, they just rent this for the week. It's a big, huge house. Who even knows what they pay? And later on that night, I get invited to another party. I'm at the CAA party, one of the biggest talent agencies in the world. I'm walking around the CAA party. I'm looking, the guy's like Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's there. Hey, what's up, Jelly Roll? First time I met Roger Steele was there. Look over. There's Jim Furyk for absolutely no reason, right? I don't know. I'm at this party. It was interesting. It was cool. But as I'm kind of going through and checking this stuff out, getting my first invites, my first Masters, I noticed something. There are yard signs at the entrances to these subdivisions. And it'll be a Mercedes logo, and it says houses 34 through 51 this way. Like, what?
What? Yeah.
Go around, go another way. It says Mercedes logo. Houses 65 through 82 this way. I'm like, what? I think, now I didn't see all of them. I don't know where they all are. I think the highest number sign I saw were in the 90s. 90s of houses. And every one of them has then another yard sign in front of the house where it says house 48. You drive down a little far, house 49. Like, we're talking somewhere in the 90s of houses that Mercedes-Benz rents for the week.
So they rent each house?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Houses, were they huge?
Yes.
What are
What just happened there?
I want to keep eating my chips, so sorry. I'm being respectful.
See, I'm just doing this. I'm just,
All right. Do you guys want,
Wait, because I don't want
Okay.
to derail the story.
all right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
please.
you. I'm going to have a little Diet Coke here with my lunch.
So, what are like the average size of the houses? Are they small, like 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms? Are they
No.
like ginormous 10 bedrooms?
They are like new build, beautiful subdivision. We're talking like most of them have.
MTV Cribs.
That's not a great way to describe because that's too vast of a description. Are we talking like 50 Cent's house, the 58,000 square footer?
Definitely
it's
not Redman.
Not at all. But they are, I don't know, I would say several thousand square feet, beautiful.
like a 2,000 square foot?
More, like
More.
4 bedroom houses
Wow.
with a pool in the backyard, like all look like they've been built within the last, they're all less than 10 years old. They're new, beautiful homes in this whole area. New. Here's the thing. The subdivision that most of them are in have a clubhouse.
Gotcha.
So there are these homes that are a part of like a homeowners association that are a part of, they've got like a whole clubhouse. So it's just nicer than normal. It's a nicer than normal subdivision. And again, I don't know how do you quantify that for everybody who's listening, all 10 people from around, Indiana or wherever they are?
9.2.
Are there
This is insane. I don't know what's happening here. I can't even.
Do they skip any houses is what I'm
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah,
So not everybody's on board with renting the Mercedes.
Correct.
Okay.
It'll be like 1, 4 none, and then another one, and then 2 none, and then 1, and then 1 next to each other, and then you got to go down another street, and it's cul-de-sac, and there's like 5 over there, and then you kind of go around and around and around. Okay, I'm blown away by this. I am blown away by the sheer number of houses they're renting. So like the party I went to had 1 house.
Yeah.
These guys potentially in the
100,
90s,
yeah.
potentially 100. I have no idea. But at one point I drive through and we get down and there's police lights, there's cars lined up and down the street. And as you get going, it's just Mercedes, just brand new, everything, G-Wagons, Maybachs, everything. Thank you, Gary. Even though you weren't there, for a fact, you know it. The Sprinter vans pulling people in and out, golf carts whizzing people around. Like it was chaotic. It was literally like going to like the hottest restaurant, you know what I mean? Where there's like valet and there's people coming and going, getting in and out of cars. And we drive by and the guy I'm with, I'm like, what is this? He goes, oh, that's the main party for Mercedes. So they put up all their VIPs in all these houses. And then this is where they all get together every night. And I'm like, that's insane. That's wild. It's complete. I'm like,
Also smart because they only got one house to really clean and the other houses are kind of there to live,
the other, we'll get there.
Okay.
Because there's so much more to it. Do we want to try the pork barbecue?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you.
Because now we fast forward to this year. All right.
I can just see Mercedes like with another we should play them in bags and they all meet up in the street.
So there's 100 houses.
Oh.
They're all partying at the one.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
This one?
Is it a house or did they rent out the clubhouse?
90 plus houses. And then the clubhouse is where like Grand Central Station is, if you will. A little drink here out of my Master's cup.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
What a great time. What an absolute great time.
Wow.
Okay.
This pork barbecue.
Solid, right?
Wow.
It came in the mail. Who knew?
Wow. Do we got numbers going around? Like
Josh is a first timer.
I mean, I have to give it a default 7.5 because I don't know.
But like,
yeah, compared to other sandwiches you've had. Like compared to your Rice Krispie treat that you eat every day, 20 of them.
then it's a 2.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the pulled pork as per se.
Okay.
All right, Josh's score doesn't count. Gary,
7.5, I said.
someone who
7.5.
actually counts. Where are you at on this? Someone who loves the Masters and will overscore it because this moment is so special. Please
Honestly,
give us yours.
I love pulled pork. I love Texas. I love barbecue. It's just elegant and it's
Gary's an
perfect.
honorary member of the Texas National Guard. I don't know if you guys know this. He talks about it so much. I sent him a hat.
Is that true?
No, totally not true.
I was like, I don't even know what that is, but I'm gonna
You
agree.
You got me on that one. Like,
I'm giving it a solid 9.2.
Wow.
geez.
Fantastic
All
score.
right.
Okay.
And you know what? Dan bought it for us. It got sent today.
That's what I mean. See, I
The
knew
excitement,
you would allow the moment to build the
Augusta.
score.
Right,
I
right.
needed that. Thank you,
And I
Gary.
love he's
Dude.
talking with the pulled pork in his cheek.
Pencil in hand,
Yeah.
pork in cheek. What a time. What a time to be alive.
Master's hat on.
It is good. I will say it's good.
Okay.
Oh, there we
okay.
go, yeah.
You'll never have one again, but you liked it.
I think my jam's gonna be that.
Wait.
Okay.
Does that mean you finish yours?
I did finish it.
All right.
Had a boy.
I was going to eat it.
Rich?
I'm going. I would say if I gave an 8.2 to the
Egg
to
salad?
the egg salad, I'm gonna go 8.4.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
that's,
got a
this
feeling
is
this cookie's
this
just
is a little bit better.
All right. We fast forward to this year. I get a call the day I am flying out to the Masters. I flew out Saturday before the week of. It was the final round of the women's amateur, the day before drive chip putt. I'm flying out Saturday. I get a phone call from a friend, a sort of an industry acquaintance, if you will. And he's like, hey, I got a story for you that I want to pitch. All right, what do you got? He's like, okay, kind of working something together with Mercedes. I'm working something together with a current NFL football player, Sterling Shepard, and this all might culminate back to an interview with Ludvig Åberg Wednesday night before the Masters. Do you want this story? Yeah. I'll go ahead and take it. I'm in. I'll take it.
One, please.
Not to mention, that's the guy you picked to win the Masters.
And,
yes.
And let's
Right?
recap when he first saw him. He goes, he was made in like a lab. He's perfect.
Literally.
Ludvig?
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, it's
Is he
too weird for
taller
me to
than
get into.
Bryson?
Especially with food in my mouth,
come
for me
on,
to
come on.
talk about him like that is way too awkward.
Let's
Dan,
hear all the
is he
fantasies.
taller than Bryson?
That's too. They're both taller than me. So
What
I
is he,
just,
like 6'3"?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. So I get pitched on this story. Do you want it? Yes. Along with it, I'm like, so how does this go? Where is it going to be? He's like, well, you'll be in the Mercedes hospitality on site at the course at Augusta National during the Masters.
Ludvig is 6'3".
6'3", thank you. And then the interview and such will be back at the Mercedes compound party house with Ludvig. I was like, wait a second. This is the thing I drove by last year that I was so intrigued by.
Yes.
I get a call the day I'm flying out. My bags are packed. I'm getting ready to say bye to my family for like over a week. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm in. I want the story. I'm like, hand it over. Like, give it to me. He's like, okay, cool. Because he's like, I have a good relationship with this person. It was great. But if I didn't take the story, he was just going to go to whoever's next. He's going to go to whatever, I don't know. I'm not even going to go through them all. The story was going to be picked up by somebody. I had first option on it. I take it. So we fast forward a little bit. We move forward. And let me tell you, this whole thing was way more than I thought. Way more than I thought.
Go on.
Oh, I mean, this was the highest level VIP experience that I've ever witnessed, ever seen, ever been near. I'm not even saying be invited to. I'm saying like that I've even got to like walk by. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see those nightclubs or something? It's like, yeah, we can't get in there. It's like, yeah, whatever, 10,000 a table to sit down. Like, it was so beyond all of that. It was so next level. Okay. All right. Little context. Okay. The Masters pretty much only has like 3 major sponsors, and then they have 3 like slightly more minor sponsors. Of those, Mercedes is one of them.
Rolex.
Rolex is tier 2.
Oh, okay.
They're not like among the AT&T. We have Mercedes, and then the third one is IBM. Here is what I find so interesting, and this story's all over the place. It is not just about financial contribution to get to be one of these sponsors. You have to provide a massive service or solution to the Masters to get to have that spot. For example, IBM. Have you guys used the Masters app? You guys use it? Yep. You can watch shot for shot of every single hole, of every single player, of every single round, the data, like everything you can do. IBM powers that entire thing.
The Masters app is by far the best sports app out there. There's
down,
not a
by
better
far,
sports app. The NFL doesn't do it. The
nowhere close.
Baseball's getting much better. They've got a lot
They
of stuff
added
going
the
on.
range this year. You could get all their range data and
my
ball count
goodness.
of every
Ball
player,
count was cool.
of every day, of every practice, like crazy.
Click and watch them hit each one too. It's not just a graph of what they're hitting.
Oh, right. Just like it looks like a firework.
Yeah,
And
no,
just like
you can see them
Bryson's
as they're hitting them.
7,000 practice shots. Like you
Right.
can go through each one. So that's IBM. AT&T, they provide all of the telecommunications and networking infrastructure. So we imagine how many POS systems are out there, how many cameras and all this stuff and all this data, all the shot data. So they've got the people on course that have those like surveying machines that like when a ball lands, and I watched somebody do it, it's really cool. They have like an iPad that's connected to this device. And when whoever, let's say, Bryson hits it and he's halfway down the fairway, they take the machine and they point it at it, kind of get it into the screen. And once they do, they click it and now it locks in. So that way the IBM system knows what pinpointed place on this universe that player's ball landed.
And that goes up to the app that we just watched.
Through the telecommunications
Holy
system
cow.
of AT&T into the data system of IBM. Like,
Yes.
right? Like,
Which is a super highly evolved Tiger TGL where they got the lights.
totally Tiger.
No, the lights. You know what the lights? The lights. It's the lights. They got the things.
Thank you.
Tiger.
Should we try the pimento?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Calm down before
This
I
is
can
what
try
I've been
it.
looking forward to.
Oh, barbecue chips are wonderful, by the way.
Aren't they really good?
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
I love the thickness of the chips too.
Mm.
It's definitely a little thicker cut.
Oh yeah. That takes me right back.
I'm so excited about this, dude.
Oh my God. I am right back. I am marching around the hallowed grounds of Augusta National in my mind right now.
This is by far the best one.
Wow. Little water out of the Master's cup.
I like
Just
how you
tastes
guys
much
are
better.
taking little nibbles.
Yeah, Kiri's just
Savoring
pounding
it.
All right. I'll tell a little more before we get to the reviews. You guys got some time for it to saturate your palate, if you will. Mercedes. What do they provide? They provide all of the transportation logistics for the Masters. They provide a car to every player. They provide vehicles for all of the tournament officials. They handle transportation to and from the airport for all the players, tournament officials, all the executives and all of that. They provide shuttle services for within the grounds. So if they're moving people from areas and wherever they need to go, there are Mercedes everywhere, like everywhere. I'm not even kidding. Like I can't even imagine. I actually did a little research because I didn't know this when I was there. I found this out after that they start bringing cars in as early as December.
Wow.
To start getting all of the vehicles in for the Masters the first week of April. There's no public number disclosed, but I did use a little bit of ChatGPT to help me sort of narrow it down. And they said right around 100 player vehicles with the entire field and the amateurs and everybody and all that, right around that. And then it assumed somewhere between 30 to 40 Sprinter vans that are doing all of the shuttling everywhere. And then another 30 to 40 cars that are for other people like, tournament officials and all these other people have got to come and go all the time. What that doesn't include in those estimations was all of the cars back at the clubhouse and for that whole party.
Right.
That's a whole other set. It is wild. So this is what I found so interesting, that usually these sponsors are just like a logo on a banner and they get to, be on like a hat and they get to be, whatever.
Pay X amount of dollars.
And we'll slap your sign around everywhere. These guys are highly strategic partners to become this top tier level sponsor for the Masters.
And then I wonder how much, because they also pay for that privilege
to
be the highly, sought after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did only certain people get Maybachs, or did nobody get Maybachs, or was it just like?
I'll tell you when you give me your pimento cheese review.
Oh, okay. Number one, the buffalo pulled pork, hands down the best.
Okay.
I'm giving this a 8.4.
Wow. Beautiful. Josh?
I'm definitely.
You've
giving
never
it,
had one, so it's a 7.5.
No,
I get it.
no.
I
Wait,
get it.
did we
This
do
is
the
different.
combo or
Okay.
no?
No, this is different because this is something that
excited.
isn't really out. Like you could eat an egg salad sandwich or a pulled pork anywhere.
Should we go beat Josh?
This is an 8.5.
Wow.
Oh, okay, good job.
Beautiful. Rich, interject, please.
I'm going to be an 8.3. But I love that we have a whole segment set aside where we're going to do the Dan special sandwich of pork and pimento.
Yes.
Oh, I
And
forgot.
Gary over here is like, I forgot. Have we eaten the pork and pimento cheese together?
He's like Tom Holland. We can't tell him
Josh,
anything.
will you just reveal that we've had these set up the whole time?
Right?
We were trying to do a big reveal moment,
I'm so excited.
and here they are.
Gary, I forgot. Did we eat those yet?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't even know if you made them. Oh,
Grab one, Gary. Just
But
take a
that's not what
slice.
you said. You
I
didn't
know.
say, did you make them? You said, did
But
we
don't
eat
try
them
it yet.
but in my head, I was like, oh.
Don't try it yet. We're not there yet.
Oh, yeah. So excited. Here we go.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. But along with that sponsorship comes a very few very exclusive things. For example, the ability that these guys have to entertain their VIPs by being one of these three top level sponsors. One of the things they get are one of these three, they call them cabins, but they're only meant for entertaining. That is the sole purpose of them. There are 3 of these houses, and you don't know they exist. If you're walking down 10 and you look through the woods, you look around everywhere, you don't know they're there. Trees are dense, a lot of yada. But if you go around by 10 and you kind of go around a little sidewalk and you got a little wristbandy on, you end up at these incredibly beautiful, what do you call it? Like they're hospitality houses.
Did you have a wristband?
I got a wristband.
What?
Because I had to follow along Mr. Sterling Shepard, and later on, wristband to get me to the clubhouse party that night.
Because it's the same wristband for the whole time.
It's all, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So here we're getting full circle to last year where I see all these house signs. I see this party. I get pitched a story, and it is now bringing me into this world of the Mercedes, I don't know, universe, if you will.
Augusta's here, and then there's other tiers.
Oh, there are layers. We go in. I catch up with Sterling. We're cruising around. And again, it was my story. I could do it any way I want. And I was like, you know what? This is his first time at the Masters. I can ask him questions about this later. I'm going to step back, hang. I can do pictures. It was still a practice round. I can still have my camera out. We can do pictures. And I'm going to let him soak it in. I'm just going to kind of document it. I'll take some photos. I'm going to stay back, kind of have fun, be conversational, but not, what do you see right now? What do you think? Tell me about this. And I'm like, we'll have that time. I don't want to selfishly ruin his first footsteps onto Augusta National
grounds.
Exactly. So we're cruising around doing the thing. And it was like, hey, let's head back to the Mercedes thing. I was like, whatever. I get my wristband. I put it on. We start walking, passing security guards. Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. We go. We get to this house that I never knew existed. And it's called like the Firethorn Hospitality House was the one they had. There's other houses on either side. One was the AT&T house. The other one on the other side was the IBM house. Right in the middle was the Mercedes house. I'm heading up on it.
Is any of them better or worse than the other?
Identical.
Okay, gotcha.
To a T.
Yeah.
Like to a T. Walk in there. They're like, hey, just so you guys know, our lunch service is already over. There's staff, servers, people everywhere, bartenders, food. I walk, like, but our snack buffet is open. I was like, oh, cool, a little snack food. Like, why not? Kind of been walking around all day. Let's go see what we got. A mountain of crab. A mountain of stone crab claws. A mountain of lobster tails.
Holy cow.
A mountain of these humongous shrimp that are cooked so perfectly with all of like the dipping sauces, and you get a little plate and you're just like using the tongs, and all the crab meat is like shucked or whatever. Like it's all like, it's just in
So you don't have to
beautiful.
do that weird breaking.
None of it, because it'll get you a mess. It'll ruin your nice new shirt.
100%.
Now I'm jealous.
My, like, unbelievable.
What
Then
about filet?
no, that wasn't on the snack menu. That was just for lunch.
Oh, yes. That was the snack.
This is the snack menu. That's what I'm trying to say. But they're like, but if you don't want anything from this, we have an a la carte snack menu you can order off of. Things like assorted sushi tray and caviar deviled eggs and such. Right.
What did you have?
I hammered the seafood pile.
Love it.
Just went way too much.
Was there crawfish?
Embarrassing. No. Only the good stuff.
That is good stuff.
No, but it's not like a low country boil. This was like, really, really high end. It was unbelievable.
Do you know what kind of was it snow crab or was
Masters
it?
edition
There was
snow crab.
4 kind. They had everything. They had a buffet of crab meats.
Oh,
Incredible.
I'm jealous.
Over to the bar, they're serving like, oh, you want a drink? Like, what kind of Macallan do you want? Like, you know what I mean? Just like,
44,
oh
baby.
my God, like unbelievable, crazy, cool, whole thing, whatever. Like, okay, well, now we're gonna head back to the actual house. We're gonna go meet Ludvig, do the whole thing.
Where the big party's at.
Where the big party is back at the subdivision where the 90 houses are rented and the big clubhouse, and a big Sprinter van pulls up. We all pile in, and it just starts taking us. We go. We first get dropped back off at Sterling's house that he had. They went up to the rooms to change, freshen up. I kind of hung out downstairs, checked the cabinets and drawers. I'm weird like that. Whatever.
This guy.
We'll see what kind of tongs they were working with in the kitchen. And then
Did you really?
no, my God, no.
I'm like hanging on every word you're saying right now.
I was actually, because I had like my backpack and then like a camera bag and all this stuff. I was quickly like sorting, okay, what gear do I want to bring to the dinner? I'm like assembling like, a little handheld tripod thing and a mic and a whole thing. And then they're like, hey, our car's here. And a brand new all electric Mercedes pulls up with like lights coming out of everywhere. And then you open the door and like a sound plays. It's like, oh, like, I'm not kidding. Like they literally did and then there was like these like ribbon lights that kind of go through it. And like when you open the door, like the ribbon light like pings from like the door that opens. And then when you close them, like they welcome you and like shift a whole thing. It's unbelievable. We get in this and we head over. And now I am headed to this clubhouse party that I saw a year ago driving by. Cops are like, keep moving, keep it moving. You're not welcome. You don't got the wristband. And everything happened very quick. We pull up, we get out. I was like, hey, cool. Let me get a shot of you guys like getting out of the car. I'm like, I don't know what I got to add together a story for this. And I get a little shot. We're getting out of the car. And as we walk, I'm like, hey guys, right this way. Ludvig's ready for you guys. I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh, okay. Like, I'm like, here, clip this mic on quick. Like, I'm like trying to like move quick. You know what I mean? Like, and we walk in, they open the door and then they close it behind us. And we're in this room and I walked in with Sterling Shepard, myself and Ludvig standing here right by the couch. And they shut the door behind us. And there's like 2 or 3 like PR people that are against the wall, silent. Yeah. The room is ours.
Go.
Wednesday before the Masters.
Go.
Ludvig tees off in like 12 hours.
Holy crap.
And we are in the room. He was my pick to win.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to bring it up. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's like, hey, I just want you to know. You know what I mean?
You're my pick to click.
We got this podcast back home, and I picked the Ludvig.
And it matters a ton because we make fun of each other if we lose. Right. So I don't know if you can go out there and play well, Mr. Number 5 in the world. Number 5 golfer in the world.
Right.
And it was actually really, really cool. And I was like, well, guys, what I realized it was kind of like on me to orchestrate. I was like, well, guys, grab a seat. And I told him this. I said, guys, can you guys chat a little bit so I can test some audio and kind of get my audio was already set.
Yeah.
I wanted them to kind of warm up a little. Yeah. And so I was like, cool, man. So right away, they were just like, they got into natural conversation. They didn't feel like we were on camera. Yeah. And they was like, well, cool, man, dude, it's so good to meet you, man. Like, so whatever. And they just started chatting and I'm kind of like filming this. Very natural, like interaction. And I waited. I knew we didn't have a lot of time. I waited till there was kind of like a little lull, like they kind of finished that topic. And it was time for somebody to think of like the next thing to talk about. That's where I came in.
So when you're saying there's not a lot of time, like how much time?
I think we had 15 minutes total
for the everything to
from
get everything.
Walking the door to it's time to go now.
Gotcha. So
and I think we might have already lost 2 or 3 minutes because it started before we thought it was supposed to start. Yeah. So when we started, like the other person was already gone. Yeah. Like the room was empty. It was like our time had already started. So I think we maybe had like 12 minutes left.
Oh, because Ludvig was doing several interviews.
Yes.
Gotcha.
They were bringing it. I didn't know this. I didn't know how it was all working. Right. I was just along for the ride in a really nice car. That's all I'm saying. We go in and boom. So kind of lull in the conversation and I jump in and I'm like, and I had this plan in my head. I'm like, okay, I've got a current NFL player. Guy's been in the league, 8-9 years at this point, something like that. I don't know, give or take. And then we've got number 5 golfer in the world. This guy's a little older. He's young 30s. This guy's mid 20s. Like, what do I do here? And kind of my concept I went with, I was like, I want to ask him some questions that pertain to both of them, that we could kind of learn, like, how do you guys handle and process these things differently? Because you're both sort of in these same universes. You're competing at the highest level of your sports. And there's got to be some things that would be interesting to know. And like one of the things I asked him, I said, both of you guys operate and function in a world of chaos. You're surrounded by chaos, whatever it may be. How do you handle that? Do you shut it out and find your quiet space, or do you feed on that and use it for your energy to execute and go forward? And man, it was very fun because they gave a near identical answer. They said, like Ludvig said, like when he is setting up over the ball, when he is in that moment, he is in a bubble. He can't hear a thing. He said, but it's a split second. It's just a split for that moment. It's like, take the swing. I'm in my bubble. Take a swing, watch the shot. If it does what I wanted, crowd erupts, take that in, give some smiles, give some waves, maybe some high fives, maybe some fist bumps, react to the caddy, take that moment in, and then move forward. And it was funny because Sterling said the same thing. He goes, when we are ready for that play, I'm watching the quarterback. I'm doing whatever it is. Like in those setting up moments, it is silent. I don't see people holding up signs and all this and the guy with his belly painted and whatever. He goes, it is a silent world. And then we execute, play starts. It happens for a grand total of several seconds, and then it's over. And he goes, and if I get that catch, if I get that touchdown, if I execute and the crowd goes nuts, I then take it in. I then open back up my world, and I'm participating in the noise, the chaos. And he goes, and then I feed on that until the next play. And now I fed on that, and I quiet it back down. I'm locked in. It's me. It's my teammates. It's who I'm shoulder to shoulder with. And we are back in our own tiny universe again. And I just thought that was a really interesting part of taking top golfer in the world, NFL football player, doesn't get any higher in the world of football than that. We're looking at respectively two guys that are, on top of the world of a career you could have
1%
in their
of
respective
1% of
sports.
the 1%.
If not less.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of fun. It was cool. So anyway, interview was great. Great time. Like, hey, well, thank you so much. That's our time. He would start and say, hey, Ludvig, can we get a quick picture? And he's like, yeah, come on. And I was like, hey, can I get one too? And they're like, yeah, come on. So I'm in between these like tall athletes. And then there's me with like 7 pork barbecue sandwiches that day. And I had pimento cheese still kind of on my lip. Here's what I will say is I got to spend a lot more time with Sterling, and he and I hit it off.
Nice.
Really cool guy. He had tons of questions for me. He is like super into golf only of the last few years. He's trying to kind of evolve some golf into his social media. So he's asking me questions.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. And he was like, so dude, like, how'd you get going? How'd you get this gig? Like, I'm like, how do you get in the NFL? Like, I don't know. Like,
And how humble is that?
Dude, it was so
and obviously,
cool.
Lud had some things he had to think about the next day. So
Yeah,
it was
and
a
our
little bit-
time with him was that really brief window, but Sterling and I got to spend like, a couple days together, and it was cool. So we head down. Next was this little dinner, and then Ludvig was actually speaking in front of this whole dinner party. And this was the point.
So wait, you said little dinner. Why do I feel like if your snack time was the crab a la carte, this is not little dinner?
Little meaning so exclusive.
Gotcha.
Oh, I got you.
So exclusive. Here was a conversation I overheard. Yeah, man, we were really upset because we were running late because there were so many private jets on the runway, we couldn't land our private jet.
You feel out of place?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was like, yeah, well, I booked 2 tickets on Southwest in case I get drawn in the lottery. And
my Mercedes is sinking into the abyss outside.
Yeah, you guys got a spare? I know you flew in like 200 of these things. Yeah, so that's why I say small. And they were like introducing around the room. And they're like, oh, we'd also like to welcome one of our special guests of honor. As you know, the Atlanta Falcons plays in the Mercedes Arena, Dome, whatever it's called. So we'd like to welcome the owner of the Atlanta Falcons here to dinner. Big clap, clap, clap. They kind of pointed out a few special guests of honor, like
Billionaires.
Everybody they called out nicely was in the Billionaire Club. Wow. I'm not going to name any other people. And the only reason I named him is because his Mercedes is the stadium. So I felt like, I will name no other names. I don't feel that's my place. I couldn't find their names in any articles, any press releases. Here's what I will say, though. I was ripping a nice, expensive cigar with a gentleman who later explained that he is a CEO of a company that we all have their product in our home.
That's crazy.
Here's what he says, and I love this. He goes, man, we were talking about flow state and getting in the zone and all this stuff. And he was like, one of my favorite times is when we're on any of our corporate jets, okay?
Multiple.
He goes, I insist that the pilots turn the Wi-Fi off so we can lock in, focus, and engage. Whether A, I'm doing a multi-billion-dollar acquisition and I want to lock in with that person so they can't run to their spreadsheets and do all this. He goes, no, I want to make the deal with this person. And you're locked in with me for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
While we go from A to B, and we're going to figure this deal out. You don't have your team. You don't have anybody. I am figuring out if I am acquiring your company and he goes, and for example, the last one I did was a $9.4 billion deal that my board thought was crazy, but I did it that way. And that's how I do these deals. And I'm just like,
wow.
On Southwest, you get these like these pretzel packs and the Wi-Fi's like $8. And I usually don't get it.
I usually don't get it, so I'm kind of focused.
Yeah, because I know I
2.5.
same thing with you. And he says to this other guy, he goes, and I don't know if that's something you've ever done. The other guy goes, hey, that's so funny you say that. I did the same thing, canceled the Wi-Fi in all our jets, and it saves me $7,000 a month per plane.
Wow.
Where are we?
Plane.
Where are we?
Per plane.
Everything in that sentence blew my mind. Wi-Fi costs $7,000 a month on a plane. Per plane, meaning there's a collection of these. Okay? Unbelievable.
Now he's back in Illinois, Derek. I get $40.
Dude. Oh, God.
You know what? I honestly feel like I could, we're not going to say the names, but I could guess the appliance and who you were with, possibly.
Don't make guesses, because I'll be forced to, like, I don't know.
It's most affiliated with the...
I don't want to do more
With the
editing. I
tournament.
already have
Gary.
to.
Don't.
Okay,
Just
okay,
don't.
Okay.
Please don't.
Okay.
Reach over and just mute Gary's mic when Dan tells the rest of these stories.
Let me use my check.
You can keep him on. He's gonna.
I'll be a good boy.
Anyway, it was beyond cool. The next night I went back there for one more night of the fun because I wanted to do some one-on-one interview stuff with Sterling, and it was a great setting there. We could take over that room that we had the Ludvig interview in. But that night over the dinner was fun. They're like, and next we'd like to welcome up our speaker of guest of honor, whatever, Caitlin Clark.
Nice.
I
dude,
saw
love
that.
Caitlin Clark.
I saw
Caitlin
my
Clark
dad.
up on stage. It's here. I'm in a room with 65 people, 70 people, maybe, like total.
Collectively worth $1 trillion.
Quite possibly. And no clue, you know what I mean? Because there's so many people, it's like, you don't know the people behind the people. Like,
Right.
you know, like there's organizations, like I said, like there's products in our everyday lives, but I couldn't tell you like the CEO is or what he looks like or how many jets he doesn't have Wi-Fi on. I don't know that information. And so just like you would slowly have these conversations and you're just like, this other guy is like, oh, yeah, I own 40 dealerships, but only 7 of them are in the United States. I don't even know what that means. I don't even, it was very cool, very fun, very interesting. And Caitlin Clark, same thing. I didn't get an interview with her. I tried though. I was like, I went to my contact and I was like, hey, Caitlin, feel free to say no. No, I didn't ask Caitlin.
No, I'm saying this.
Oh
is
my
how
God! Like
this is how you talk to her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My God.
She's not that tall.
Dan's not that tall.
I'm not that tall, and
That's
she enjoys wearing heels. We see that a lot, like when she's like walking into the stadium for her games and stuff. So she was in heels, you know, beautiful, lovely looking lady, whatever. She's towering over me, absolutely towering. Oh my God. So, wait, you derailed me. I was saying something about.
Imagine that. You asked your contacts. Feel free to say no.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Oh my God, you just landed my private jet. He was like, I was like, hey, feel free to say no. Any chance I can get 3 questions? No. He goes, and I'm sorry, I'm not being rude. Just it's not possible. I was like, totally cool, awesome, thank you. I'll be at my seat way over there in the corner if you need me. Over here, having whatever this beautiful like private chef cook dinner. I mean, whatever. It's
Can you
unbelievable.
imagine you ask that and they start slowly taking away all the plates?
It's just
like, what's wrong with this guy?
They're just, we got to get the poor guy out of here.
Yeah, it's like one of those movies. Like it's like a sad scene and you're just losing everything.
It was interesting. Sterling said, he was like, yeah, when we got to the airport, they sent a car for us and they sent a Maybach. And he goes, but the problem was we had our clubs, we had suitcases, we're here to golf. So there wasn't room for all our stuff. So they sent another Maybach to get all our stuff. So we're like a motorcade heading back, following
Maybachs.
each other and matching Maybachs I'm like, unbelievable. And of course, I was here to cover the story. Right. I got to enjoy some of the treatment, but like the treatment wasn't for me. Like I wasn't one of the VIP people. And so it's funny because like at the end of the party, they're just pulling in like crazy cars, one after the next. And people would just be like, because here's what they said at the dinner. They said, what we strive to do is provide the highest level hospitality that any of you have ever experienced. To achieve that for the people in this room is unimaginable. Like the highest that they have ever experienced. People with fleets of jets and things. So you have to understand that, like, it's not like, when you get to the DoubleTree and they give you 2 warm cookies. Like, that's not what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? Like, unbelievable. So, like, these guys, like, after the party, they just come out and they're like, hey, we want to go here. And they're like, great, what kind of car do you want to go there in?
Yeah.
And then they just radio, and there's drivers waiting in all these kind of cars to choose from. So it's not even like somebody gets the keys and runs up and gets one.
Right.
They just instantly put it in drive and pull it up in front of them. Like,
Yeah.
and here I am, like I'm all done for the night. It's time to go. I'm calling my Uber,
Right.
and my Uber that night was a Chevy Silverado. I get picked up in a pickup truck from this thing. I'm like, I am a fish out of water, man. But it was so. But the full story journey of this thing from last year, my first time there, like my mind's blown by like what even all this is. To 1 year later, I am supposed to be there. I didn't even sneak in. Like I'm invited here with NFL player meeting number 5 golfer in the world the night before the Masters starts, right in the heart of this whole thing. I was like, man, you know what? This is pretty cool. This is pretty wild. And I always think like, how do you top this? But I keep having those moments and it keeps kind of happening. But I do ask that question at this point. How do you top this? I have no clue.
You got to score that interview.
Winning the
What's
lottery
whipped
for the
cream?
Masters to play it.
Yes. What?
Yes.
I was going to say, you got to try and score another interview next year like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know.
Do we do the combo?
Yes.
Did
No,
do
we
it?
never did the combo.
All right. This was something that I learned about and I tried last year and again this year, but it is the pimento cheese topped with the pork barbecue combo all in one.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Mm.
The one thing I'll say about the pimento cheese,
Mm.
salty.
Mm-hmm. Well, pimento is a pickled, and to pickle something with brine, there's usually a lot of salt involved.
That's the only complaint.
Like your comments.
What do we think?
So good. This is the top of them all. So if I did 8-2, 8-3, 8-4, I got my 8-5 right here.
I like
Wow.
it. I like it by itself.
No, I'm going to go Billy Bob. I give it a 10. A effing 10.
Did your full 10?
Full 10.
It's the best thing you've ever had.
She's in best thing I've ever had. 9.9.
All right, fair enough.
Wait. Question. Don't we get to try like the drink, or is that a surprise too that I'm ruining?
There is not a drink.
Okay.
This
It
kit
doesn't
didn't come in.
with-
And I wanted to order the azalea,
Yes.
and it was sold out by the time I ordered this thing. So there wasn't an option.
You're going back.
What
You
is
are
the azalea?
VIPs to us, Dan,
It's-
in our hearts, and we love
The
you. Thank
azalea is lemonade with vodka
you. Mm-hmm.
and grenadine.
And also, the azalea exists with or without. And so you could say, I want the azalea or azalea and Tito's or like however,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the funny thing was I was kind of over in this little cool, you need to have a badge area right by the first tee, all the cool umbrellas right next to the clubhouse. And who's the football player? Tall, white dude, like kind of medium long blonde hair, Trevor.
JJ Watt. Oh.
No,
Trevor Lawrence.
yes. I was in a urinal next to him, feeling like a microscopic human in a lot of ways.
Ventura him?
Okay.
Just kind of like take a look.
I like took a look.
Hitting him on the forehead.
And
moving on.
so I head out and I was like, I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like, it's a cool little kind of VIP-ish area. And I'm going to get a drink from over here at the bar. And I was like, I would like just an azalea, no alcohol. We're working right now. Let's keep it all calm down here. So there's a bartender and a cashier. And the bartender, and he starts making it. And the cashier goes, all right, and what'd you have? And the guy goes, lemonade. Just like, okay. He's just like, lemonade. Like,
No, it was an azalea.
no, it's
I'm
an
not the master.
azalea, please. Yeah.
That's funny.
So
Delicious.
Rich, what was your rating on it?
8-2, 8-3, 8-4, and then this one 8-5.
Nice.
This is the favorite sandwich out of all of them.
Josh, you like the pimento and it's sort of refined glory.
My thing is with the reason why I don't like
It's not a Rice Krispie treat.
pulled pork is the texture.
Ah,
It's the texture of the meat for me that it's just my personal preference. I'm not saying it's bad.
That's
It's
fine.
good, but just my personal preference. I think I might starve at Augusta National.
I always forget that we have a 19-year-old that runs the computer and stuff like
I'm
that.
26.
He reminds me of
oh.
we were hitting golf balls and Jackson comes out of nowhere and starts bashing Augusta. I'm like, are you literally bashing the best place on earth when it comes to golf? I'm like,
Who?
we were hitting golf balls. You knows Jackson. People that nobody else knows. But anyways, moving on.
So for everyone else, the story doesn't matter.
Uh-huh.
What's funny is last night I was just like scribbling a ton of notes. So we've got our regular run of show here, and then we've got like separate notes that I made for myself. And I just put down like a few bullet points because I didn't want to forget anything. I have no clue why, but I wrote down the word spaceship. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's in my notes. I have no clue last night when I was scrambling to get all my thoughts written down, but I wrote that down. Maybe it'll come to me. I have no concept on why I wrote that word down at 3:00 in the morning last night when I was trying to fall asleep.
Were
But
the Maybachs like spaceships?
All right. Well,
yeah,
how
probably.
about this? I do have 15 things
Okay.
that the winner of the Master gets.
Okay.
So Rory just got all 15 of these. Well, most of them. Some of them happen in the future, but you get all 15 of these things. So I don't. Do we want to kind of guess what they are? How do you want to do
Yeah, let's go through. Let's see who can. Maybe we'll all kind of throw them out
Could
there.
you say it one more
Keep
time,
going
please?
Until you're wrong.
Josh, do you know what they are already? So
No,
if you-
I have not looked.
okay.
So
you're
there-
in the game.
So I was on scrolling TikTok, of course. Makeshift Golf. They're great guys. I follow them and stuff like that. They came up with this list of 15. So I didn't come up with my own. I'm just pulling from them. But it's 15 things that the Masters winners all get.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around, and every time you get one right, you get a point.
Cool.
And if you get one wrong, moves on. Okay. So we're gonna do. Josh goes first, then it's Gary, and then it's me.
Green jacket.
Bingo.
Oh, that's so
Starts
unfair.
staying in my voice.
That's one of the
All
15.
right.
A locker with their name on it the year they won.
You guys literally took both mine.
So
Good.
that is the Champions Locker.
Mhm.
Yep. And it's also the obviously it's part of that is they get access to the Champions Locker room.
Mhm.
So
And I love that. Did you guys see that video? Rory enters it for the first time, where he's just like, wow. And it's just wild to think like he's been there so many times, but it's like you still can't walk through that door.
Yep.
Like you finally gets to walk in and just be like, damn.
Look at Tiger's 5 wins.
An honorary membership to Augusta National.
Now that is on here.
Thank you.
I have a question about that. It says
I learned about that this week.
It says honorary membership.
Yeah.
Like, so is that a full membership?
No.
So what does that mean?
Okay, so essentially it is nothing more than the fact that it's like you get the key to the city. It doesn't open any doors. It's just an honor.
You also need to be invited by a member.
Correct.
So
whether
they
you are
can't-
whether you're Jordan Spieth who has won it and Tiger Woods who's won it, or if you are Ludvig Åberg who hasn't,
Yeah.
you still have to be invited by somebody to play,
So-
regardless
so
of your
Rory-
honorary membership status or not.
So Rory
Yeah.
has his own locker there,
Correct.
but cannot go play next week.
Correct. Without a member.
So crazy.
Allegedly.
That's so weird.
Remember, it's
So
all
crazy.
alleged.
It's why
And
Augusta
you also
is Augusta.
you got to assume though, like Rory calls up and says, "Hey, can I get a tee time?" Any one of the members are like, "Yep, you can play with me." Like,
Well, right. And it might even work in reverse. He's like, I want to play 11 o'clock Monday.
yeah,
And then they find him as member.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It could even potentially, it's like, okay, you're locked in,
Yeah.
and we'll just plug in a guy to make sure no matter what, you get that thing.
Right.
I
It's
don't know.
the same deal like Lamborghinis don't have commercials, and it's also the same deal where like, you
Oh,
know,
is that the same?
other well, because it's so exclusive, we're so good we don't need to have you look. And also like another thing is like it's so exclusive that I forgot my point because you asked me that question.
All right. Game keeps going.
Thank you.
All right,
Everybody
I'm
has
up.
1 point.
Lifetime exemption to the Masters.
Oh, that's a
Yes.
good one.
Yes, I got to find it on here. It's on here somewhere.
You get to practice at one of the 2 putting, pitching, chipping facilities that they have that only former Masters winners can play at and drive, chip, putt kids.
Yes, it is the champions only range.
And what's so wild is the range that we see these guys playing on, practicing on, all the shots, Bryson DeChambeau, 1,000 balls, is only used for the Masters and for the U.S. Women's Amateur and that. But the rest of the whole year, that lies dormant. They go play over on the members' range.
Wow,
That's all that's for.
that's crazy.
That is like
It's just for 2 weeks out of the year.
And
Yeah.
we know a 10-year-old kid that won the drive, chip, putt last year and gets to do that.
Oh,
And he made it twice, I believe.
wild.
It's
That's cool.
incredible.
Um,
Emery, shout out.
gee, like you guys literally went through all the. I was kind of pre-logging
I
a
got
bunch.
another one.
I know my
Do you?
next one.
Man.
Mister, I went to the Masters
Yeah.
There's still some
Thanks for
low hanging fruit on this list you guys are missing.
I'm wondering how I'm drawing a blank here now.
You normally like come up with like the most
I know.
random ones.
I'm so flustered, and I got pimento cheese in my mouth.
Right.
Rich is on his phone, right?
Well, because he already said we said the green jacket,
kidding.
the trophy.
Yes. So what? So there's what?
It's a replica of the official
Yes.
Masters trophy.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
All
They
right.
don't get to take the actual trophy home. They just get a replica sent to them.
What about a seat at the champions dinner?
So yes, every single year they are invited to the champions dinner.
I'm rocking out some bangers here.
You also get to pick what you eat next year.
Yes, that's exactly right. It's choose the menu. I don't see where it's at on here. But yes, you do pick out your menu for the next year.
I know my next one.
So I don't know if this. Okay, we already said they get a green jacket.
Actually, what's funny is that that didn't make my list, so I don't know if maybe they're just the champions dinner invitation every year and picking the menu.
Two separate
picking
things.
the menu, it is two separate things. It's not on here
You
though.
only get
so
to do it once,
I'll let you go again because I think they're just kind of grouping the two.
you
into
get
the
to
one.
stay in the crow's nest overnight.
That is not on
What?
here either.
Oh,
That
Wow.
the amateur is invited to stay.
Oh
in there.
yeah.
Oh, that's not the champion.
Right.
That is an error.
But however,
'Cause you
you
bypassed
do get
by-
an invitation into Butler's cabin.
Oh,
That
That's
is
the one
not
I'm-
on here. So
no.
that's
Well-
16.
wow.
wow.
Because you do right, you get the invitation down to Butler's, and then that's where you're handed your jacket. That's where Scottie puts it on Rory for the first time in that indoor area.
Are we going to roll?
It's my turn.
Go ahead, Josh.
So, what about after the next year's Masters, you get to present the green jacket?
Oh, that's a cool thing. It's not on here.
Oh my
come
God! You
on.
love. That's
Well,
funny.
what are you searching up
I'm
here?
done keeping score.
I just like his-
I'm just
We-
making
you
it
sound
up.
like you're
We
right.
just had 3 valid points.
How
here.
about you get your name engraved on the trophy?
Bingo. That
Thank
is on here. You do
Boom.
get your name
Boom.
engraved
Boom.
on the
Boom.
trophy. Yes.
I'm just snacking.
Yep. Dan, you got any more?
Yeah. Okay. Is this separate from or the same thing? Yes, you get a green jacket, but you get to take it home for 1 year.
That's piled in with the green jacket. You get to keep it for
Damn
a
it.
year. Yep.
Whatever.
So you can go again. It's
Oh,
But
I know
it.
one. I know
Have
one.
another
Go
one.
ahead.
Now, again, like
I know exactly what
this
one.
kind of, but you get access to the pro shop we all wanted to buy all the stuff.
Yeah. We could have came up with
This
15
one's so
different
easy.
ones.
Yeah.
Like 30 on the
is
list.
one of them you get access to all the majors? Like you're in
Yes.
all the
Exemptions.
majors?
Yes,
Yeah.
a 5-year major exemption. So you can go to all the majors for the next 5 years.
And a forever exemption into the Masters.
We already said
That is yes, that was a lifetime invitation to play. He already got that one.
I thought that was for the dinner.
Super
That
easy
was
one.
fun.
You get your own champion parking space
Ooh, that is not on the list.
because
That's a good
Tom
one. I didn't
Kim
know that.
parked there once, and they're like, and then Sky Schefter's like, bro, look,
You can't
nah,
park here.
you gotta move. He's like, oh shit, and they just had a ball.
How many do we have left?
Several.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
I like this
Yeah.
list.
All right, so here's a couple of
Do you
one-
guys have any more?
No.
All right.
Gary, before we reveal, do you have any more you're holding on to? Perfect. We all ran out at the same time. Now I'm not an idiot.
All right.
Well,
so there's
no.
also not only do you have the 5-year major exemption, you also have the 5-year PGA Tour exemption.
That's
Oh,
wonderful.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
I'll eat some pimento cheese to that.
You take home $3.6 million.
Why do we not think about the purse?
I don't know.
I thought that went up this year.
Did
And
it?
it wasn't it 4.1 this year with the
I
new
thought it
increased
was-
purse?
Yeah.
I actually, they said
That could be a
3.6.
2024 number.
It could, yeah. I do think it's 4.1 because I do remember hearing that, and I remember thinking that when they said that. So it probably is 4.1. We'll have to do a little check.
Do we chocolate chip cookie while we're doing
Oh
this?
my God, yeah.
Oh,
I thought you'd
yes.
never bring
Good
this up.
call. Good call. I love that we're all just crackling
Yeah.
plastic, and it just
I'm so
sounds
glad
terrible.
Rory doesn't have to go to these
Here,
talk
would you like
shows.
some of this cookie that's already out of the plastic? Oh no, you're just using plastic too.
Yeah, no, we're just all doing
That's
plastic.
terrible.
I'm just glad he's gonna get to answer all
Hey,
those
Gary,
questions
cough a
positively.
bunch to hide the sound of my plastic.
Right?
Oh.
He was joking.
Dead serious. I was joking.
Here's another one. You win 750 FedEx points,
Oh,
which that's a ton of FedEx.
That
points.
helps.
Yeah, that helps.
yeah.
And then here's kind of two kind of interesting ones. So you know that well, I'll bring that back to so you get a gold locket.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've recently heard about that, and I don't understand what that is or what it looks like or what it's for.
So he'll pull up a picture of it on the screen. But it's a gold locket, and it literally opens up, and there's a picture on the inside, and it's rumored to be a picture of Ben Hogan.
Like, here, everybody gets a picture of this guy.
Yeah, like
It was great golf. I mean, like part of history, the whole thing. But it's just like, and then you get a locket with Ben Hogan's picture.
which, and I think it's meant to change and put whatever picture you want in there, but the
That's
picture
like
that comes with it,
like
is
at the
Ben
store,
Hogan.
the picture frame always has some family, and it's weird if you keep them in there.
Right,
You're supposed to put your own family
I
in.
know people that keep them in.
That's so weird.
I know.
All right, and then there's two more that's on the list. One is so you get this gold medal. It's a gold medal. So I think it looks I didn't see really close, but that medal that you pulled out of there, that little coin,
Yeah.
I think you get a gold one of those.
Oh wow.
Oh, a ball marker?
No,
Well, I mean, you could use it for anything you want.
Yeah,
I mean, I
right.
guess, you know.
It didn't really seem like ball
I mean,
marker.
listen, anything's a ball marker with the right attitude.
Fair enough.
So much chocolate in this cookie.
It's a great
Yeah.
cookie, isn't it? It's my. Here's what I'll tell you. There's 3 types of cookies that are served. I love this cookie, and it's my 3rd favorite of them all.
Wow.
You want to hear
Yeah.
something completely stupid?
You've never had a cookie?
No, during Christmas time. No. During Christmas time, when my mom's making cookies and stuff, she makes me a batch of chocolate chipless. So it's chocolate chip
Chocolate
cookies.
chipless.
Yeah, chocolate chipless chocolate chip cookies because it's too much chocolate.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm so
So-
picky, dog.
so
It's not
another
The
word-
even
abundance
Wait,
of
wait.
chocolate equals the
So-
abundance of negative comments.
She just
Josh
makes
is-
you a cookie.
A chocolate chipless
chocolate chip cookie. It's still
is-
the batter of the chocolate chip cookie because it's not a sugar cookie.
It doesn't have to be a sugar cookie. It's just a cookie. A sugar cookie
I'm
is
an
a
only
different
child,
cookie.
and that seems
If
extra
you
to
take
me.
chocolate chips out of a cookie, it doesn't make it a sugar cookie.
No, it doesn't. It's still a chocolate chipless chocolate chip cookie.
No.
I'm just still
it's
flabbergasted.
a
Rich had to
cookie.
explain you were joking to me.
All right, and the last
I'm
one,
blown away right now.
the last one, which I actually think is
Well,
one of the coolest ones in there, is the Sunday before your event, because we talked about you can't get your own tee times and things like that. The Sunday before the Masters, you get to invite one person to go you play around with.
Oh yeah.
And Scheffler played around this Sunday with his mom.
Oh man.
Okay.
How cool is that?
Here is what I did not know. I was out there that Sunday, the day of the drive chip putt. I said in my video that I did about it that it's really cool that while these kids are playing, they're alongside some of the greatest players in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's so close to the tournament. I just thought there were guys who got in town early. I didn't realize that it was only past winners. Then they were also with people. I thought they were with members because they had to be. I didn't realize what was happening, that these were only past champions playing with guests of their own. I had no idea. I am so glad you brought that up because I even talked about something in a video that I was unsure on the grandness of the details about it. That's wild.
So this happens every year then? So it's not just the past year's winner. So every year you get to do it as a champion.
I think so. That's what it seems like now.
That is, yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
cool.
say that the rating of the cookie equals Scottie Scheffler's mom's handicap, which would be
Wow.
a 7.8.
That's his mom's handicap?
I would think so.
That was just a wild
I
guess.
was just gonna say that she's awesome.
Okay.
And if
It
she's
was-
not, but in my world, it's funnier if she's killing all of us on
my
the course.
weird critiques aside, it was really good cookie.
Solid cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
Yeah.
It's
and
like
then-
having mac and
Yeah.
cheese without cheese.
That's really weird.
I get the Garrett's, half and half.
Oh, yeah.
I only eat the cheese
Then why don't you just get the cheese?
because my family likes both of them.
Ugh. I do the same thing though. If I'm rocking it out, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm 26 years old with the appetite of a 6-year-old.
Anything else, Rich? I have nothing.
All right. I do think we need to talk a little bit about, we got to bring in the RBC Heritage before we go.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah,
gotta do our
yeah.
pick.
We got to get our picks. We got to see if I'm picking last again next week because I'm really good at picking last.
Yeah.
It goes me first.
Of course it does because you're terrible at this game.
Oh,
Hey,
my-
I
you
won
sound like Tom Segura right now. That was actually perfect.
Before you picked Minwoo Lee, I was the closest to actually winning a tournament.
Yeah, and your
I just
point
think it's
is?
impressive when you get the cut done.
Before, when this happens and this
I love you.
happens, that happened, and then
So-
now.
Really quick.
Go on.
Jose Luis Ballesteros or Ballesters peeing in Ray's Creek.
Yeah.
Is that not the most insane thing you've ever heard of?
Because he's an amateur, right?
He's an amateur. He's from Spain. This isn't his home country. However, he does go to school here in the United States.
ASU.
I would
which is
imagine
fitting.
that he, like most golfers, have dreamt of playing in the Masters his whole entire life. I don't think this is like a new tournament that just popped up on his schedule.
The
he's
first
taking a
comment
win?
was, that's like being at the Super Bowl, going on the sidelines and doing that. And here's the thing, they clap for him, but here's another thing. Like, you in real life, you could be a red dot on a computer screen. Say goodbye to parks. Yeah, schools, don't go 500 feet.
I mean,
And he goes, I would do it again. I wasn't embarrassed. I'm like, you should have been, bro. Like,
Here's what's funny.
Holy crap.
Here's the thing, too, also, though. We all have to admit, I mean, I've whizzed into a creek before at
10
a golf course.
gazillion times.
Yeah.
I'll do it next to the fairway. I don't care. But
Listen.
Listen.
I told you
As you
yesterday.
guys know, my home here is a little bit out in the country. Neighbors have horses. We're surrounded by cornfields. We're a little out here. I got kids. We pee outside all the time. You just go find a bush. You go to the corner. It's the way I grew up. It's the way we do it out here. I've actually found out that I didn't explain to my kids well enough that you don't do this at school. It was a conversation we had to have. I didn't know that they didn't know. Okay? But you know what?
He's like Big Daddy in the plot.
But you know what? That was kindergarten. It was kindergarten, okay?
Not the Masters.
Not the Masters.
I thought
okay?
that was recently.
No, that's my point. They're now, they're second, third grade, or they're third grade. Like, they know at this point that we go into an area that you're supposed to when you're somewhere else. This guy,
Oh, man.
here's what I love though. First, he catches massive amount of flack for having this new trend, like the upside down curved logo on his hat. Like that's a whole thing now.
Which I
That's
don't see
everywhere.
anything wrong with that.
Me either. I have no idea why, all of whatever the old complaining Karens of the internet lost their minds about it. Later that day, he pees in Ray's Creek and gives everybody else he didn't piss off yet a reason to be mad at him.
He's got one more strike.
And all the old hats that hate that kind of hat.
Yeah.
That know they like just piled up.
I bet you there were guys with torches lining up, you know what I mean?
for
Just ready to
sure.
storm the castle. Then, little insider info here.
Go on.
His swing coach was kicked off of the range
Four.
wearing shorts.
Oh.
These guys were, they were a little off.
Does he
off
not
the program?
care?
Wow.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. It's a whole thing.
Never mind.
I know.
I mean, here's a question for you being there. He said he didn't think anybody was watching or anybody was paying attention. Is there a place on the course at all anywhere where the golfers aren't surrounded by people?
No, there's not. And there's nowhere where you could even like get behind some bushes and some tree. Like there's
thousands and thousands of people there.
correct. And the way, like where he was in the course, Amen Corner is like up against like the edge. It's not like one of the interior holes that is surrounded by holes.
Yeah.
It is near like an edge. So where that is, there's nowhere to go. Like you're just at the wall of trees and then behind it, the property ends and then you're no longer on Augusta property. So like you have the world behind you.
Yeah.
That would be like trying to pee against this wall where no one sees you. There's nowhere to go. Like there's just, you can either face this wall or face this wall
Talk
or
about
go into the
stage
corner.
fright.
And here's another two things. The poor John, I guess, was across the way from him, behind him. And here's another thing. Why don't you just ask somebody really quick rather than decide to do that in the most iconic creek there?
That's the craziest part is like, it's not, there's a lot of like ponds and waterways and things that nobody knows what they're called.
Right.
I could look through my manual and tell you some of them. Everyone knows Ray's Creek. Everyone knows Ray's Creek. So the fact that he peed into the one that is like the only one everyone knows what it's called is like additionally wild to me.
The only three crazy things I could think of, somebody bet him to do it,
No.
which is false. they schemed this for marketing to raise, was this wrong?
No.
Or he's just a flat out disrespectful moron. That's mine.
I think.
Harsh.
No, not even close.
Now, here's what I think. I think.
Ricky, go ahead.
No, I'll talk now. My show. Thank you. Sorry. I think everything you said is 100% wrong.
We're used to
Rich,
it.
are you on board with that?
Go on.
And what I think was he made a young, immature mistake that he didn't realize would have such massive ramifications.
Yes.
I think he was just like, I got to go real quick. I think he said JT was kind of talking to a rules official over on the green. If I just go now, it won't hold anybody up. Nobody will have to wait for me. Where can I go? Where can I go? Here, I'll just go over here real quick. I'll just kind of dip off and away. It's no big deal because they do pee at tournaments. Like this does happen.
Yeah.
It's just the Masters kind of a thing.
Well,
I
and
think
like we
it was
said
just
earlier.
a massive error in judgment.
Well, and like we said earlier, we've all done it.
Yes.
He's done it 1,000 times
Yeah.
on course. He's been playing golf his entire life.
Did you ever see the
Like-
drone shot at Pebble where some dude went like off the green to pee off the cliff? Like he even went steps down so nobody could even see him.
The
And
drone
the
still got
drone was hooping around and got like full frontal on the dude.
Jesus.
Like literally, like the only people that could see him is like a seagull and a cruise ship that's like 4 miles out, and they whiz a drone around and get like eye level of this guy.
But I wonder if that guy really came into Augusta like with some attitude.
I don't think so.
Well,
because he was a
because
very nice guy, like in the interviews and everything. And he was like, listen, I goes, I didn't mean to. It wasn't to be disrespectful. I was actually trying to save time.
Right.
I was just trying to be very quick. I later found out, yes, the report about like this whole thing could have been done totally different. Second of all, that hat, I bet you his school sells a zillion of them.
100%.
I bet you go to any sporting event and you see 700 of those,
Yes.
7,000 of those hats,
Yes.
whatever. And this guy's wearing something like the cool guy hat from his school.
And it's supporting his school because
Totally.
he's from his school.
And so now it's like a cool thing, like from that school that he
Yeah.
spends, $100 other days a year at,
Yep.
is like the hat. And he
Yep.
probably has 10 of them. And it's the cool hat to wear. So I just feel like it was just a compounding of unfortunate situations
Yep.
that it just tumbled into now. This guy's a huge douche and he's disrespectful and he's a big idiot. And it's like, I just think that the guy made a mistake, error in judgment, and it just compounded into the story where the dude is just like, just getting destroyed.
You could be in a random alley in Chicago and get caught by a cop with nobody around and get arrested for it. So it's kind of like common knowledge not to do that.
Or just ask hey, what are you doing? Come on, move along.
But it's totally fine because it's done at every other golf tournament.
Okay.
On another,
So that's the thing.
on another completely side note, I thought it was great. Did you see when Scheffler was that shot of him underneath the tree when he's waiting for the rules
Just
official?
taking a minute. Just needed some time.
Yep.
I
I love how he didn't go get the rules official. He's just like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
Just gonna wait.
And he's not like pacing around
No.
and like looking through his yardage book and like with those hand on his head. He's just like,
He was like picking up like pine needles and just kind of like throwing them around.
I
He's
like
just
the fact that the PGA Tour posted this.
yes.
yeah. Scottie. All right, RBC. Should we make some picks? Here's what I think. I feel like we're going to be talking about the Masters for weeks to come
For sure.
because you know what? We've already been doing like a 3-hour show already. But
And these Masters hats, if you wear them, because I know they're yours, you do whatever.
of course.
they have to come back to keep decorating
in
their
between.
table. Yeah.
This is what like my dresser looks like in my bedroom
Right.
because I take them off every night and then grab a new one and take them
Next
on.
week, I'm going to wear nothing but these.
That a
There you go.
boy.
That a boy. Are you gonna prove it?
All right. Who gets first pick?
Hey, I'll go last.
Me.
You know.
And,
All right.
I'm picking Scottie to the Scheffler.
Oh my
There
God.
we go. Finally coming up with rather than trying a dark horse that doesn't make the cut. I
Whoa,
think-
Yeah.
Brooks Koepka's not a dark horse.
Okay, Jesper Svensson. Like, what are we doing?
Hey, you never know with these small tournaments with no
he
names.
literally picked that person because he wanted to pick first for the Masters.
No, I didn't. That was Tom Kim.
Hold on. Jesper Svensson. I saw his name card.
Yeah.
Inside the Cobra truck
Go on.
because I was in there. Quick side story. Okay. So I am so
Before you dive into that,
go on.
how awesome was it? Just explain the trailer to me.
I'm about to.
Okay, thank you.
I was so sure that I was getting this Masters lottery. Like I said, I bought a plane ticket for it and everything, which I forgot to cancel and had to call Southwest, and then they canceled for me after the fact because I told them I had an issue. And anyway, solved. Anyway, and I was so sure that I was going to get picked for the Masters lottery that I even went down and saw my friends at Cobra to get like my wedges dialed and kind of go through my bag and see what I had. And they're actually sitting out up here, a few of the new clubs. And here's the great thing. I have a great relationship with them. They've already given me like a ton of clubs. We've done a lot of great stuff together, and they're always taking good care of me. So I just kind of visited them again to be additionally taken care of because I wanted to be extra dialed for the Masters. And dude, you
wouldn't have been the Masters. It would have been the Augusta.
It would have been Augusta. But for me, I was playing the Masters. I mean, did you, like Scottie, and Rory, they were on the course 12 hours prior. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over there fixing their ball marks.
You would have had Sunday Cups.
It's true. Okay. It is the most dialed in thing on earth. Like, it is just crazy. I posted a video of it. You'll see it. But like, there's like weird little things. Like when, he's like assembling, put the epoxy on or whatever, and like assembles the two pieces. And he likes to like hit them together just to make sure they're cinched all the way in. Well, right there where he stands on the floor is an additional plate, just because he always does that right there. So they're not like ruining the floor. There's a plate right there because he always stands here and does this move and puts this thing on and goes dot, dot. And there's a plate for it. Like, there's just little things like that that are like so dialed on different levels and different layers where I'm just like, it was like in-person human ASMR. You know what I mean? Like, this was like those like scooping sand, kinetic sand videos that kids watch. Like, and here I am in real life enjoying this. And it was just so cool. But the fun part about it, he was like, hey, you know what? I think we need to get you in a new 3-wood, something here. We're going to put you in the new DS Adapt for a lot of reasons. One, he goes, you can kind of like play with this a little bit. He goes, I'm going to put it where I think you need it based upon the measurements of your other clubs. But over time, if you want to add some loft to this, if you want to maybe say like, hey, at my home course, I like flying this thing a little higher, or I want to do some different things. He was like, this is going to give you the ability to do that. I think you're going to have fun with it because you're kind of a club nerd and you like tinkering and tweaking. He goes, but next I want to get into your wedges. And that was a lot of fun because we started talking about like grind and lie angle and all these things based upon the tight lies of Augusta. But he was like, he goes, Dan, I'm sitting here looking at like your wear patterns and where you're striking the ball and all this. He goes, I think this is going to be a fantastic grind for you to experiment with. He goes, so I'm going to create a setup for you where we're going to have your 60 degree, which I used to be in a 58. We got me into a 60 now. And then we have 56 and a 50. I used to be 58, 54. So we kind of have a new layout of wedges I'm really excited about. But it was just fun because he's literally like looking at my club, looking at wear marks, looking at ball strike pattern, and really like kind of, because we couldn't get on the range, obviously, I'm not hitting balls at the Masters. And he just by understanding that, he was like, man, here's what I think. I think if we make these changes, it'll get the club face closer to the ground. It'll move the ball up higher on the face. It'll start getting you more spin. I think this is right for you. And I'm just like, dude, you're so good.
That is so awesome. Like,
so good.
It's so awesome that you got fitted for Cobra. Was it last year, 2 years ago? Last year and a half?
Year and a half.
Year and a half ago.
Sleeper.
And you've been using those clubs exclusively.
Yes.
And for the last year and a half.
Full bag.
Now you have wear patterns of you, because you grind balls.
Grind.
So now you have wear pattern for all your clubs. And then he took them and like, okay, here's your wear pattern. We're going to tweak things based on your wear pattern, based on what you were fitted for a year and a half ago.
Then he goes, we were looking at the driver. And he was like, because he was just looking over everything. And he looks at the driver and he was like, man, he was like, you're hitting the ball a little low on the face. And he goes, but I see like you have a very consistent wear pattern. It's very middle, like center face, but it's not up high enough. He goes, you're striking it too low. He goes, that to me looks like if you're that consistent there, let me make an adjustment so you don't have to. Keep swinging your swing. You've got it where you want it. If I could just get that face to hit somewhere else without you changing a thing. And so he goes to my stuff and he was like, man, I don't have the shaft in here that I want for you. Okay, here's what we're going to do. And he sits down at his computer and he's like measuring things and weighing things and taking parts off and putting parts on and going through this whole thing. And he goes through this whole thing and he was like, what's your address? And I was like, okay. And he was like, cool. I'm going to send you one that is an exact match from your setup, but with a little adjustment in lie angle where he
like
goes
like the toe.
yeah, kind of okay.
Where's your club? There we go.
Here we go. So if the club sits like this at address, he wanted me in one where the head kind of tilts down a little more. It lays a little flatter.
Yeah.
So now we're taking the middle of the face and we're bringing it a little lower to the ground. And they didn't have the shaft and everything. He's like, but you can do that with the DS Adapt. And I'm going to have them put it to the setting I want you at. So when you get it, it will be all set. He goes, but I have one more idea I think you're really going to like. So I'm going to send you another one too. He's like, so I'm sending you the one that is exactly what you have with the adjustment I want. And then I'm going to send you one more that is kind of a different adjustment that I really am interested in you trying. And those are on the way here as well.
Do you know what the new one is?
He kind of said it all quick, but it was like, it was going to be this shaft with this and that because of the kick point, the flex and this and that. And I didn't write it all down. I was like filming. It was a whole thing. So just when they come in, I'll know when they get here. Yeah. Then I'll know. It was so crazy. It was so fun. It was so cool. Ben Showman, he is a master club builder. He's been doing it for over 20 years. He's worked for all of the biggest golf companies, and Cobra got a hold of him a while back. And he's been on the Cobra team for a long time. Here's stuff I didn't know. That he was talking about, like when he's showing me things on the wedges and he goes, and see this here, this is something I've been pushing for the last couple of years, but they needed to do some R&D to figure out if my idea would make sense on a commercial use club. He goes, of course I can make things and shape things for my players. Yeah. He goes, but I really wanted to see this in the production line version for everybody. And he goes, so I'm so excited to see this thing I've been pushing for a few years has made it into the club. Their tour truck guy is directly influencing the product that goes onto the store shelves that everybody's buying. Of course. They have massive R&D departments. They have all these machines and mechanics and robots and all these other things they're doing. But for me to know that Ben Showman himself is sending in his notes of what he would like to see in future releases and future models, I thought was so cool.
I love it because it's not the white lab coat guys in the in the labs, in the crystal environments, sanitary environments. It's the blue collar guy who's putting the stuff together.
Yeah.
And,
like the guy was literally out there week after week working through stuff, different turfs, different players, different swing types, and maybe changes he finds that he's making for all of these players. Like, man, we're really finding if we kind of clean a little off in this area, they can get a little more of this. Let me send my research back in. Yeah. Awesome. It's so cool. All right. Back to the RBC. I know.
All right. I got Scheffler. Who you got?
You're Scheffler. I'm number 2.
So like I usually do, Scheffler sitting right now is a plus 360 to win.
Okay. I feel like I want to go back to the well with Ludvig.
Is that 3 weeks in a row for him?
Is it? I'm really sorry. I'm destroying his season.
You cost him $700,000.
Dude, you would have won. You would have took first.
I am.
All right, so Ludvig is sitting in third place right now at 1,200. Is that where you want to sit? You want to?
No. I'm gonna stick with that. Right. I felt like literally. I mean, the dude, he was a handful of putts away from rolling in the hole to having a clear and away victory last week.
That is so true.
Gary
Morikawa.
I
don't even know if he's done it.
He's number 2 right now. Cool. And he's plus 1,100.
I sent you the list.
That's I was too excited about it. There's like 60,000 things going on today, so
all right.
Masters was more important.
Yeah.
Taking his shirt off in front of us all was more important. All right. So just kind of going through lists. We got Scottie, Morikawa, we got Åberg, Xander, he's 4th. Patrick Cantlay, 5th. And I'm going to go with my pick of JT.
Justin Thomas?
Yes, Justin Thomas. He's ranked 6th overall.
Did you guys try this stuff yet?
Yeah, I did. I'm just not a caramel corn guy.
Of course not.
One. I'm gonna save mine.
Yeah, I'm thinking Justin Thomas. I also a couple more down. Shane Lowry and also Tommy Fleetwood are both
solid picks.
Solid picks.
All right.
I'm going to be rooting for Tommy this week, just because I always root for Tommy.
Terrible throw.
Terrible.
I wanted to go high.
You are never a Benihana chef. Like,
Yeah. I was going for the tooth chipper. You know what I mean? You get it up enough.
Those things are heavy too. That would hurt.
Oh, yeah. You're next.
Oh no.
All right, JT's my pick. That wraps
I
us
got
up.
him last.
All right. That's it.
Yep.
So we
I mean,
got-
I feel like there's so much more we could talk about, but listen, the internet's going to run out of hard drive space. We can only go so far.
Yeah,
I'm
we
so excited
almost
to play with
almost
this
a
shirt on.
3-hour recording here,
Is it really?
including the cut in between.
Yeah, we had to make sandwiches. I'm going to take one last final drink from my Master's cup.
There we go. I will be drinking from this Master's Cup for a long time. I'm actually really excited about doing the show, and because I'm going to use this cup so much, is like just watching it get its wear use, you know, because this is going to be my new daily use.
It's like like guitars and things.
Yes.
Like as they like weather
It's
over
gonna,
time.
It's gonna look like what's that old guy's name? Willie Nelson's guitar.
Right?
Yeah,
Just have
holes
holes in
inside
it.
it. Yeah. Hey, remind me next week. I have so many stories. I have a Melbon hat here. I had an awesome conversation with Stephen Melbon at the Melbon house. We're out of time. We'll talk about it next week. I feel like master stories are going to keep going for weeks and weeks to come, but we'll save that one. Super cool guy. Invited him on the show. He wants to be a part of the show. Even if he never makes it on, I'm not putting him on blast or anything like that. All I'm saying was a great guy, accepted the offer. Hopefully it ends up working out with his schedule and ours. But until then,
But before we go,
my hands are already up. Do I keep them up?
just hold on real quick.
They're getting tired.
Because I always give us the updates.
Oh, yeah.
It is 365 days until the Masters.
Wait, 365?
No, it's less than that.
No, it's because of the way the date works when it starts and
Right,
what
'cause
date it is today.
always
And
the first full week of April.
there we go.
So if you're ever looking at your calendars, you're ever wondering, it's the first full week in April.
So 365 to the next Masters.
Well, I don't know. There was that meme of, I don't know, it's the dude, he's like moping around, but it was like me for the next 365 days,
days.
knowing that I won't feel true happiness. You know what I mean? I don't know. All right, guys. We're all good?
Yep.
Gary,
Love
you
it.
going golfing? Lucky. For the second time today? So unfair. Are you wearing your master shirt? Nice.
You're gonna sweat
Masters
it out.
hat.
All right. All right, guys.
Hopefully my other one too.
That's it. See you guys next week right here on the Dan's Golf World Show. Sports Illustrated's very own.
Let's go.